And we're live. Hey everyone, how's it going? Good evening. How are we doing tonight? Go. How is everybody? Like last time, I'm probably going to keep my voice down a little bit, just because, again, I don't want to ruin my voice for class and all that. But, yeah, we should be good to get going. So lots of stuff to talk about. I have plenty of interesting material that we're talking about in class that I'd be happy to go over and happy to bring up here and there. Down slightly, there, a little bit better. So if anybody, if at any point you have something, if anybody has something in particular you want to talk about or you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know. Topics, no worries at all. Yeah. Otherwise, let's jump into it and pick up where we left off. Last time we had just recruited Tally, and now tonight my plan is to recruit our last two kind of core squad members. There's one more after this, but that's complicated, so we're gonna wait on that. Actually, there's two more, but they're both complicated, so we're gonna wait on both of those. In any case, we're going to recruit our last two major squad mates tonight, both of them on Ilium, this kind of Asari border world. Bit of a lawless city wasteland, if you want. We're going to do that. Kylie says, I am lay jam and meringue. I have a food-related confession to make. I have no clue what one does with meringue. I know that it's a pie filling, kind of, I guess. But the only time I have ever made meringue for just about anything was for pancakes, for souffle pancakes. This is a message from Caden, so this is a good place to start. But that was actually very, very good. The souffle pancakes, they're like light and fluffy. They're about that thick if you do it right. I didn't quite do it right, so they're more like that thick. They're very, very tasty. They sort of just melt with syrup. It's delicious. So it like turns into a candy kind of thing. Bake it for 40 minutes and let it rest for an hour. Chewy if you 2 hours if you want to crunch it. Interesting. Like it's a candy thing, or is it? I have no idea. Again, I think of meringue as like lemon meringue pie, that kind of thing. Not as like a thing by itself. That seems strange to me. Like a cookie. Huh. I never knew. It's a weird. I have very strange gaps in my knowledge. Everyone who has ever had me in class knows about my very strange apps. So, and this is apparently one of them. Baked goods. I don't know much about baked goods as it happens. I know that cookies exist and that they're baked. Yep. So, we have a message. We have a message from Caden. Shepard. I'm sorry for what I said back on Horizon. I spent 2 years pulling myself back together after you went down with the Normandy. It took me a long time to get over my guilt for surviving and moving on. I'd finally let my friends talk me into going out for drinks with a doctor on the Citadel. Nothing serious, but trying to let myself have a life again. Then I saw you, and everything pulled hard to port. You're standing in front of me, but you were with Cerberus. I guess I don't know who either of us is anymore. Do you even remember that night before Ilos? That night meant everything to me. Maybe it meant as much to you, but a lot has changed in the last 2 years. I just can't put that aside. Please be careful. Watched too many people close to me die on Eden Prime, on Vermeer, on Horizon, on the Normandy. Couldn't bear it if I lost you again. You're still the woman I remember. Now you'll find a way to stop those collector attacks. But Cerberus is too dangerous to be trusted. Watch yourself. Things have settled down a little. maybe. I don't know. Just take care. Hey. Yeah, that was a rough reunion. Like I said, it has been a while since I've done a Caden romance run and gotten to that part, which is it's a lot more meaningful and impactful with all of that background there. All right. So let's go to. We'll eventually do some loyalty missions as well. Gotta help Jack over here, and we've got to help Jacob. Oh, Jacob up there. Also in Ilium. What we'll probably do tonight is we'll recruit the Justicar and the Assassin in the opposite order. I think we'll do the Assassin first, then the Justicar, and then time permitting, we will help Miranda. So we can do everything that is on Ilium, even though there are more things on Ilium later on, but everything for now on Ilium, while hopefully all at the same time, although we'll see. We may wind up, we may wind up having to come. We'll see. So, classic Garden World, developed to serve as an entrepot between the Terminus systems and the Asari Republics. To vet this trade, the normally stringent customs laws of Council Space, custom laws of Council Space on product safety. Okay, prescribed materials and sapient trafficking are relaxed. Okay, sketchy. Officially, Ilium is not an Asari world. It is colonized and operated by Asari corporate interests. It gives the same legal latitude enjoyed by human corporate research on enclaves of Novaria. And then some history background. So basically, Ilium is like Novaria from the last game. It is it's kind of on the border of civilization and lawlessness. So there's some latitude. It's also most of the planet is too hot on the surface, so most of the cities are inhabited, I should say, only in sort of the middle layer. Who should I take for this? Just wandering about. On Ilium? With Tally, because I think there are reasons for that, if I remember right. I don't want to take Miranda, because that might actually trigger a loyalty mission that I don't want to do yet. Tally, and I've never taken Kasumi to Ilium because I've never played a game with Kasumi before, so these two. That'll work. Let's do tech armor. So either the energy pulse, which meh, or increased powers. Yeah, definitely power. Some power damage. Definitely power armor. Let's do it. Cool. Alright, Kasumi. Let's go flashbang. Oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again. Alright, yeah, combat drone. Her drone is incredible. Also, attack drone. What's this do? Power duration. AI hacking is also just really, really good. Improved just makes it one of them, and it makes them really beefy. So let's do that. Then 1 point in Mechanist, and we're good. The arc projector. That thing, singularity projector. I hate this stupid submachine gun. It's terrible. Locust it is. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. check it out. Nice.
Welcome to Nosastra, Commander Shepard. We've been instructed to waive all docking and administration fees for your visit. My name is Karina. If you need information about the area, it would be my pleasure to assist you.
Who instructed you to waive the fees?
The order came from Liara Tassoni, who paid all fees on your behalf.
Hey.
She also asked that I direct you to speak with her at your convenience. She's near the trading floor.
Look at that, Liara's here.
You said Liara was here? What is she doing?
Liara is one of Nosastra's most respected information brokers. Nosastra is based upon trade. Information is valuable currency, and Liara has done quite well. As I said, you'll find her near the trading floor. She was looking forward to seeing you.
You mentioned trading. What gets traded on Ilium?
Anything you can imagine, Commander. Ilium is a wonderful world for those who can afford it. In order to remain competitive as a Terminus systems port, we've relaxed many of the standards you'd find on other Asari worlds. Most drugs are legal, provided they are labeled properly. You can buy almost any weapon or technology. You can even buy indentured servants.
Well, let's see.
I can't believe an Asari world would allow slavery.
We try to avoid calling it slavery. All indentured servants on Ilium have voluntarily agreed to a term of service. Most choose indentured service as a means to pay off debt or avoid imprisonment. A contract holder is responsible for the well-being of her servants, and a servant's duties are agreed upon before the contract is signed.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of legit. I mean, slavery bad and all that, obviously, but agreeing to a term of service in exchange for what have you, whether that's payment, whether that's forgiveness of debt, whatever that might be, it's like an employment contract to an extent. It's just that exit clauses are more stringent, let's say. Yeah, I don't know. This as big of a talk of the whole regulations are loose and everything is sketchy and creepy. As much as the game tries to kind of upsell that, a lot of this is just relatively reasonable kind of laissez-faire policy, as far as I can see. What can I do here?
Do you have any recommendations about what to do on Nosastra?
Our trading center is directly ahead. You'll find restaurants and shops nearby as well. I suggest you browse our shopping kiosks. You can find things on Nosastra that you can't find anywhere else in the galaxy.
I'm on a mission. Can you help me find someone?
I can help you find major entertainment centers or stores, but I'm afraid I can't point you to individual people. Liara is excellent at that type of work, however. I imagine she can help you.
Okay. So let's see if she can point us in the right direction.
Again, welcome to our city, Commander. Please enjoy your stay.
Okay.
Customs records indicated just a car named Samara is visiting this port, Shepard. Your former teammate, Liara Tassoni, may have more information. Her office overlooks the trading floor. You may wish to speak with her regarding the whereabouts of Thane Krios, the assassin on your dossier, as well.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that. What's Kasumi have to say?
Towers, traffic, lights, and Asari everywhere you look. I thought about living here for a while, but everybody's so tight-ass. It's all about money to these people. I do what I do for the love of it. These people do it because they don't know any better.
Are you shorting prefabs?
What?
Very few Quarians ever set foot here. Ilium doesn't allow the flotilla to approach beyond a certain distance. This is the greatest planet in the galaxy for those who can afford it, and they work hard to keep the Quarian fleet away.
Yeah, that's, so in part, that is one of those, an example of the one of so very many prejudices against against Quarians and against sort of migrant people, vagrants, and that sort of thing in general. At the same time, though, Quarians are the exact clientele for a tech-rich world like Ilium. So it seems like, image issues aside, what with the prejudices and whatnot, that a so incredibly free market place, relatively speaking, like Ilium would be more than willing to trade with people like the Quarians, the migrant fleet. But some prejudices are stronger than profit motive.
You're Commander Shepard. I saw I guess you would say your aura. I'd recognize you anywhere. I was asked to give you a message if I saw you. It's from a friend you made on Novaria.
I met a lot of people on Novaria. Could you be more specific?
I believe the message itself should make it clear. Shepard, we hide. We borrow. We build. But we know that you seek those who soured the songs of our mothers. When the time comes, our voice will join with yours, and our crescendo will burn the darkness clean. Thank you, Shepard. The Rachni will sing again because of you.
So the Rachni Queen we saved on Novaria is around somewhere. Good. Riley says, I love the Asari's outfit. Yeah, Ilium has some really nice, fashion kind of choices, and Asari are kind of supposed to be known for that. Why am I floating? Is that just me, or is this... Anyway.
I'm glad to hear that you're rebuilding. Are you somewhere close by?
The Rachni Queen is not here. That message is one of many memories I carry from her. I encountered her on an uncharted world. She saved my life. More than that, she gave me a purpose.
The sleeve things
They
are
are
a
an
little
amazing
strange.
people, Shepard. The galaxy owes you a great debt for giving them a second chance.
How did you find the Rachni?
I was working as a courier. Pirates ambushed my ship, and I was forced down on an uncharted planet. I was badly injured, alone and near death. Then they found me. They saved me.
You obviously got off-world again. Did the Rachni give you a ship?
No. Countless workers repaired my ship. It runs better now than it did before. They remind me of the Keepers on the Citadel in a way. All working together, each with a purpose.
What happened to the pirates who attacked you?
They were obliterated, as they should have been. The Rachni are not aggressive, but they do what they must.
That's troubling, given that they were the antagonist of a galaxy-spanning war a few generations ago. Okay. But yeah, it's at least they're targeting pirates and doing so defensively and helping out people a little bit. It's neat the idea of a hive mind race like the Rachni, and so many sort of bug races. So many bug races in science fiction kind of work like this. We kind of wind up gradually finding out a little bit more about the Rachni and how their sort of hive mind thing works. But it winds up being both a positive and a negative in a sense. Because unfortunately, it apparently makes them rather susceptible to Reaper influence as well.
Can you tell me where the Rachni are?
I'm afraid not. I don't even have that information myself any longer. After I met the Rachni Queen, that information was removed. It's not painful, but I simply don't remember. I'll remember when I need to, and her caution is understandable. The galaxy isn't yet ready for the return of the Rachni.
Well, that's not wrong.
You said the Queen gave you a purpose. What do you mean?
The Queen shared her song with me as I recovered. I saw the Rachni as only an Asari could. They are so beautiful and so vulnerable. They needed someone to purchase things they cannot make themselves. Someone to work within the system. An agent, if you will. I am happy to help. My life as a courier was empty and shallow. Now I'm helping a great race rebuild itself.
It's a little bit culty, but I can understand, at least. I can certainly understand the finding a new purpose, particularly one with such an intense spiritual connection, which I get the impression that she's talking about, Asari bonding, or that she bonded with either the Rachni Queen, or at least a Rachni, or some of them, and shared thoughts, shared impressions, shared emotions, shared a mind with them, and that's again, that is an intimate connection, whether that kind of intimacy or not. I don't know. It's kind of always an open question when it comes to Asari, but yeah, that would, direct one's life toward a particular purpose, certainly.
You were really comfortable walking away from your old life?
You're concerned that the Queen is controlling me. I understand, but it doesn't work like that. Our minds were in perfect harmony. I saw their beautiful spirit and their need. I knew what I had to do. If some part of that is suggestion, then it was a side effect from their efforts to save my life. I am happy.
I got that she was grateful. What else was her message saying?
That the first Rachni War was a mistake. Some things soured the voices of her people. In Rachni psychology, that would be like mind control, I think. It doesn't really translate. Anyway, she believes you are fighting the ones who did that, and she promises to help.
She thinks that the Reapers caused the Rachni War?
I can't say for sure, but she was certain that her ancestors were forced into war against their will. Her people aren't naturally aggressive. If they made war, it was not of their own doing.
So, yeah, this seems to imply, and now there are other interpretations of this that kind of develop later on, because there are alternative possibilities than just Reapers here. Excuse me. But that kind of, once again, shatters galactic history and kind of puts the Reapers behind so much of what has gone wrong in the galaxy, not just right now, and not just at the end of each cycle. This seems to imply that the Reapers are responsible for kind of shaping things as the cycles progress, which is something else we're going to see.
Thank you for giving me that information. I'm glad my friend on Noveria is doing well.
Be well, Commander Shepard. You will not see me again.
Sorry about all of the yawning, folks. It has been a long day at the beginning of what is to be a long... Hey, another friend from Noveria.
Holy crap, Shepard? I thought you were dead. Shepard? The news said you were dead. What happened? No, wait, probably classified. Forget I asked. You just have to lie. It's been a couple of years. I'm Gianna Parasini, Noveria Internal Affairs. You helped me nail Administrator Analeus.
Happy to help. What happened to Administrator Analeus?
He made the one mistake Noveria won't tolerate. He got caught taking their money. He's doing a few years in white-collar prison. More importantly, he won't work in the field again. Sit down. If I remember right, I owe you a beer. What brings you to Ilium? That you can talk about.
You ever heard of the Collectors? They're attacking human colonies. I'm gonna stop them.
Damn, Shepard. For me, a tough job involves more paperwork.
I love how she was expecting Shepard not
listen,
to be
I just
able to say,
remembered
and
something.
then she's just
gotta
like,
go. Talk to you later.
right there on the table.
And don't forget to drink your beer.
Well, that's an empty beer. That's disappointing. Shepard had to leave. Target saw me. Couldn't break cover. Asari merchant smuggling schematics from Noveria. Can you talk her into showing you the good stuff? Yeah. Yeah. I bet we can.
I'm looking for the
Welcome. You look like someone who needs high-quality equipment. Feel free to look around. My store has the best tech and biotic equipment on Ilium.
Is everything here so expensive? I'd planned to drop a lot of credits today.
Really?
I'm outfitting a team for a dangerous mission. I need the best, and I'm willing to pay for it. as long as you work with me.
Well, perhaps I could give you a preferred rate at the kiosk. Here, a small discount, and when I get special items in, you can take a look.
What kind of special items are we talking about?
Oh, you know, schematics, designs. Nothing illegal, but I may not have all the licenses to sell them.
So yeah, let's. I love the corporate espionage parts. This is delightful. And I really, this kind of thing does kind of display how this kind of interaction and you know, what amounts to copyright or patent protection could work without laws governing the process, because again, Ilium doesn't have laws against this kind of stuff. But Gianna's still after her, and Gianna's still going to try to take her down with Shepard's help, so let's see.
Do you have anything else? Anything not listed on your main merchandise kiosk?
Well, there is one thing. Very advanced design. Not publicly available yet.
That's because it's still in development on Noveria, and illegal for export. Hello, Hermia.
Parsini, you set me up! But this isn't Noveria. You don't have the authority to arrest me!
I don't care whether you go to jail. I've got all the evidence I need to find you out of business.
Do you have the authority to seize the schematic she's trying to sell?
I don't have to. Hermia was under suspicion. We leaked a faulty device to her. All this thing will ever do is blow up in your face.
I need to go. I have to talk to my lawyer.
Talk fast, Hermia. When the fines hit, you won't be able to afford him. Ah, that was good. I've got to go file a few papers. Come by my table when you've got a minute.
So yeah, once again, not illegal on Noveria, on Ilium, but given that it's covered under the law on Noveria, and Hermia's credits are, you know, her money and all of her accounts and everything are settled on Noveria, that means that you can deal with things that way, right? So if you're working in one jurisdiction and also working in another jurisdiction, even if there are not sort of legal crossovers, you have to be very careful with what you're doing in a kind of what amounts to a polycentric system like this. By which I mean there are multiple independent centers of legal authority, right? This is the law here, this is the law there, under these circumstances, under those circumstances, and you can participate in, or even something like subscribe to, whichever system you prefer, and it amounts to an interconnected legal system rather than a top-down legal system. And this is traditionally this is very common to a lot of historical societies that were not imperial, right? So this is very different from something like Roman law, which was very top-down. Definitely want that.
This might be useful.
This is very different from top-down sort of Roman law. So the Roman legal code was primarily promulgated from Rome and then imposed onto colonies. Colonies had their own law, but they all fell under Roman jurisdiction. Well, it was kind of a federalist system, which is what the founders kind of based the system on. By contrast, there were the various legal systems found elsewhere throughout Europe, which were more polycentric. There were laws in place based on where you are and who was in power, who could enforce the laws, or who you were working with and who you were associating with. The law merchant, especially in the sort of high Middle Ages, was a legal code that was sort of organically developed from the ground up by merchants, by what amount to international traders and merchants, who basically formed and self-enforced their own legal code through guilds and that sort of thing, because they couldn't rely on the legal codes of any one jurisdiction because they moved around too much. So the law, right? The law is way more complicated than simply, what is dictated by a ruler, right? Or a given jurisdiction, or what have you. The law is very complex and interconnected most of the time. What we have today, as far as state law goes, is like state imposed, as in state, nation state sort of imposed law, is an aberration from the historical norm and what probably would occur in a wider social arrangement, like in space.
Hermia is going to be a very poor woman very shortly. Thanks for the help, Shepard. I love nailing Asari. So ageless and superior. Then you get them and they squeal like schoolgirls.
Phrasing?
It must be nice having a job that you really enjoy.
I wanted to be a cop, or CSEC, but my family had bills. I needed the money a corporate job brought in. Besides, in this job, you don't see things that make it hard to sleep at night. White-collar crime is nice and clean. Hell, at least this time I didn't have to wear heels and a dress.
How'd you end up on Noveria anyway?
Scholarship program, and a competitive internship. Turned out I was only middling at the science, but I could always ferret out secrets. You grow up poor and surrounded by rich kids, you get good at hiding yourself. Helps with going undercover.
Nice.
It must be hard going undercover so often.
Really cool.
It's not so bad. Go new places, be new people. The only weird part is when you go home and try to talk to people, and you forget how to react. Like it's another cover, you know?
Kylie says Gianna is a mood. I take it you mean the whole like learning to adapt in like growing up poor among rich kids or something like that. Not so much forgetting how to behave and thinking that your real identity is a cover kind of thing. Because I don't know your life history before we started working together in the office, but you were in my class and all that, right? But I'm guessing you didn't do extensive undercover work to the point where you forgot your real identity. But who knows? It's possible. And you wouldn't tell me if it were the case. But yeah, I love Gianna. She's great. She's like I say this a lot, but she's one of my favorite side characters in this game. One of my favorite like minor side characters in this game series really. And I'm just kind of disappointed that she doesn't show up in 3. I think you get an email from her or something like that in 3, but that's it. That's the extent of it, which is disappointing. I really wish she would show up like during the events of 3, like during the chaos, because there's chaos on Noveria in 3. It would have been cool to have her show up for it. Oh well.
Deep down, part of you likes fooling people. That's what makes you good at it.
Part of me, yeah. I grew up poor and working class. Now I walk around the rich and powerful, taking notes, getting evidence. And they never see me coming.
What's up next for you?
Research. We've had some hacking attacks lately, and I want to make sure they're external. A lot of people are suddenly interested in dark energy. My bosses want to know if it's something to worry about. That'll hold me over until I have to go back undercover anyway.
Here's that little plot thread again that just gets dropped. Oh, see, okay, Kylie says, I meant not having to wear heels and a dress for work. Okay, well that's a lot more mundane than what I was thinking. I guess same though. Being a man/male professor has its perks. More practical fashion, at least these days. No, there were times throughout history when male fashion was incredibly impractical. I'm thinking like French Enlightenment, terrible. High heels, in fact, high heels, tights, absurdly large shirts, like the big puffy shirts. Think Louis the 13th, 14th, that era. Wouldn't want it that day-to-day basis.
It's been a pleasure, Gianna.
You too, Shepard. See you around.
I don't know if you guys are going to hear, but Saoirse's up late, and she's going to be going to bed shortly. Good night, Saoirse. Alright, let's head up here to talk to Liara.
Tired of training employees only to lose them to your competitors? Perhaps Indentutech can help. The leading provider of cutting-edge indentured service, Indentutech can provide contract-guaranteed labor for any technical area. Contact Indentutech today. You've been a slave to your employees for too long. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Oh my god. I forget about that line. Oh wow, that's... Whew. Okay, gotta admit, that was a good one. I'm stunned by that marketing scheme. Yes, it works.
Hello, Commander Shepard. Liara will be pleased to see you.
You're Liara's assistant.
Yes, Liara relies upon me to acquire useful intelligence. I don't have her network of contacts, but I supply her with supplemental data. It's really an honor to work with her.
What's Liara's reputation here on Ilium?
She is greatly respected. In a few short years, she's amassed a sizable network of connections. She could have even more political power than she already wields if she weren't so focused on her personal goals. But I believe she should tell you about that, not me.
I'll talk to you later.
Of course, Commander.
Reminds me of... So, her slimy way of talking reminds me of the Kaminoans from... especially from Star Wars Episode 2.
Have you faced an Asari commando unit before? Few humans have. I'll make it simple. Either you pay me, or I flay you alive. With my mind. Shepard! Nixeris, hold my calls. Shepard. My sources said you were alive, but I never believed. It's very good to see you.
Yeah, so Liara's grown up a little bit into the, just like Mommy, in fact, if you recall.
It's good to see you too, Liara. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I've been working as an information broker. It's paid the bills since you... well, for the past 2 years. And now you're back, gunning for the collectors with Cerberus.
If you know that, then you know that I could use your help.
I can't, Shepard. I'm sorry. I have commitments here, things I need to take care of.
What kind of things do you need to take care of? Are you in trouble?
No trouble. But it's been a long 2 years. I had things to do while you were gone. I have debts to repay. Listen, if you want to help, I need someone with hacking expertise, someone I can trust. If you could disable security at key points around Ilium, you could get me information I need. That would help me a great deal.
What's this all about, Liara? Can't you just talk to me?
Don't you think I want to, Shepard? This isn't because I don't trust you. This is Ilium. Anything I say is probably being recorded.
Well, okay.
If it'll help you, I'll take care of it.
When you hack one, a server will open somewhere nearby for a short time. You can download data from there, if you hurry. Thank you, Shepard. This may help me pay a great debt.
Okay, so, let's find out what we came here to find out. Then we'll go help with Liara's thing. Then we will find Thane and Samara.
I'm looking for Thane Krios. He's supposed to be here on Ilium.
The assassin? Yes. He arrived here a few days ago. My sources tell me he may be targeting a corporate executive, Nisana Dantius. He contacted a woman named Serena. Serena has an office in the cargo transfer levels. Perhaps she can tell you where Krios is.
That was all just off the top of your head?
I'm a very good information broker, Shepard. The world of intrigue isn't that different from a dig site, except that the dead bodies still smell.
If you don't remember, Nisana Dantius was somebody we met in Mass Effect 1. She was the sister of that, of the Asari pirate that we took down. The one who didn't want, she was a politician, she didn't want it to become public that her sister was a pirate, so she paid us to shut up about it, or paid or blackmailed, I don't remember. Either way, not the best person.
There's an Asari named Samara here on Ilium. Do you know where I could find her?
Samara? Yes. She arrived recently and registered with Tracking Officer Dara. You can find Dara at the transportation hub.
Why would Samara have to register with a tracking officer? Is she a criminal?
No. In fact, she's quite the opposite. Samara is a Justicar, one of an ancient sect of Asari warriors. Dara can tell you more.
Neat. I love the Justicars.
Thanks for the
They're
help.
very, very cool.
That's all I needed to know.
Of course.
If there's anything else I can help you with, let me know.
Let's not do this yet. We're gonna do that way later. So.
How's your own work going?
Everyone needs information, Shepard. You want to know why I don't drop everything to join you? I need to get that data. It should be about friendship or trust. But that's not the way it works on Ilium. Let me know when you hack those terminals. Give me that, and I can talk to you.
Okay.
If it'll help you, I'll take care of it.
When you hack one,
thank
you,
you,
Shepard.
already told me that.
This may help me pay a great debt.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, Liara.
Okay, so let's go do the thing for Liara.
Another difficult development for human expansion as the colony on Horizon has been attacked. The Council has suggested that the attacks are a tragic coincidence, likely the result of Batarian slave traders or isolated...
I need minimal heat increase. And speed. I have extremely high performance requirements.
Certainly, sir.
Safe, too. I need a 100% safety guarantee of anything going onto my suit.
Yep, high performance exosuit. Volus. That's okay.
Does living at a higher altitude make you more intelligent? Our report may surprise you. New data commissioned by the architect Williams have noted a
What?
correlation between tested intelligence.
I'm gonna have that asshole arrested. Watch yourself if you go in there. Some human is causing trouble. He's demanding that I sign the place over to him.
I'll be careful.
Or you could kill him. You know, legally, in self-defense. I'd make a really good witness. Failing that, I'm hooking up security cameras now. If he or anybody else causes trouble, I'll have their asses arrested.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun. It's going to be very fun. Now, before we deal with that guy...
I still don't see why we're here. Solarians do not get married. My family simply negotiated a reproduction contract.
Whatever. It's the closest you guys get to a wedding. And that means you get a bachelor party. End of story.
I don't understand. Humans celebrate wedding contracts by tempting infidelity? That makes no sense.
Calm down, man. Don't embarrass me in front of the stripper.
What do Turians do? Do Turians do this too?
I'm just here for the drinks.
You said that bachelor parties are for very close friends. We're just co-workers.
We've been co-workers for 5 years, though. Aren't Solarian years like dog years?
Okay, now that's offensive. I appreciate the gesture, but my people don't even have sex drives the way humans do.
Uh-huh. Take a look at that, man. Everybody likes the Asari. Everybody.
But we actually reproduce by... My word. She is very limber.
Well, okay then.
I can appreciate her dancing in an aesthetic manner, but I don't have feelings of... She is a lovely shade of blue.
Okay, that makes my legs hurt just watching it. And my knees are meant to bend that way.
This isn't as bad as I'd feared. It's actually... Is it warm in here?
Okay, you see that bit there?
The little divot in her abdomen?
It's called a belly button. Humans and Asari have them, and you're gonna be doing shots out of it later tonight. That can't be sanitary. Not the point, man.
I can understand why I might find Asari attractive, but how can they be attractive to humans too? They look just like Solarians.
What? They look exactly like us. I'm not seeing the Solarian thing at all. At all.
You're both wrong. Asari look just like Blue-Turians. Look at the head fringe.
Wait, you don't think they're like mind controlling us to see them as attractive, do you?
Please be quiet. You're going to ruin Asari for me. And there aren't many Turian women on Ilium.
I think there's literally none, but that's just based on, basic observation. Actually, Turian females weren't even modeled until Mass Effect 3 came out. Actually, even until maybe even DLC for 3. Either way. Anyway, that conversation there, the reason I spent the time with the Asari stripper and listening to that is because that is the sole basis of some really, really, really weird internet theory about the Asari having some creepy, weird, unnatural form and brainwashing people into thinking that they look like their species. Let me write this down. I'll put the link in the description after the stream. And the of course, it's actually relatively easy to explain this away as a matter of, well, they look like humans because they look like human females for the most part. They look like Turians because they look like Turians. Right? They have the head fringe, they have the skin modeling, right? They have the sort of scaly patterns. They look like Solarians because, again, of the skin patterning, because of the eyes. They have relatively large eyes that are mostly black, especially when they're wink. They have the whoopies, the head swoopies, which look like the Solarian horny things, right? Basically, Asari look like a lot of species. They have a generalized appearance. So, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense in terms of that makes a lot more sense than they're really creepy, weird tentacle monsters that brainwash you into thinking they're attractive. That's super weird. That would not make sense of physics.
On me? I'm a man on the edge. I got nothing to lose. I'll do anything to get the job done. I'll go all the way without a second thought. You want to see how far I'll go? I learned how to shove a gun in people's faces from Commander Shepard.
Hey, if you know this idiot, can you rein him in before I slap his ass with a singularity?
Shepard? Is it really you? It's me, Conrad Werner. We met on the Citadel. I wanted to become a Spectre. And then you shoved a gun in my face. You showed me what it meant to be truly extreme. I learned that lesson well. So you're alive, huh? I hear it goes like that in the biz. Why don't you sit back and watch how it's done? I got some asses to kick.
So first of all, he's misremembering, because that is the renegade action, shoving a gun in his face. What we did was convinced him that he should be at home, not doing this. Like, really specifically not doing this, because he's going to get himself killed. Which he's... Oh, that'd be my phone. Which he's about to. Oh, hey, Kylie has finished her meringue. Cannot see it yet. Sure I will, though. My phone takes forever for these things. Anyway. But... let's see if we can convince him not to get himself killed. Again. I love this idiot.
Conrad, why are you acting like me?
What, are you crazy?
Thanks.
I'm nothing like you. I'm not a Spectre working for the Council.
That's the...
I'm on my own, backed only by my wits and my nerves. No rules, no laws, just whatever it takes to get the job done. I'm not like you at all.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, first of all, what the hell are you doing?
So you just wander the galaxy righting wrongs?
Hey, don't say it like that. I talk to people, you know? Ask them if they have big problems that only I can solve. You'd be surprised how many people are just waiting for someone to talk to them. Sometimes I poke through crates, too. You know, for extra credits.
He's a video game protagonist. That's a job. God, I love this. Love this so much. Okay, how are you not arrested yet?
Any decent security system will detect that you aren't in the military, much less part of my squad.
I just say that I'm deep cover and don't appear on systems. I'm doing the best I can, okay? You were a hero. You saved the galaxy and showed everyone what humanity could do. And then you died. The galaxy needed someone like you, Shepard. We all did. I had to do something.
Oh, no. He's trying, guys. He's really trying. Almost admire him for this.
Conrad, do you have any actual combat training?
I'm saving the galaxy, Shepard. I don't have time for training. Don't you get it? You were a big jerk. But you saved the galaxy and showed other races that humans mattered. And then you died. The galaxy needed someone like you, Shepard. We all did. I had to do something.
Jesus. So yeah, no training at all. Decides he's going to go help out. Almost gets himself killed. It seems like a lot of the really dumb vigilantism that is happening a little bit right now, like nowadays, and I'm afraid is only going to get worse, with people thinking, "Hey, I can help out," with all of the unrest and everything going on. Eventually, some Conrad Werner type is going to say, "I'm going to go and help whatever cause they decide to choose," and it's going to end really badly. I mean, with it's already resulted in people dying. I mean, I will say, thankfully, it wasn't the person who decided to take things into their own hands who died. It was people who attacked that person who died. So with Kyle Rittenhouse and whatnot. But yeah, there is a dangerous potential for this sort of thing I see to happen nowadays. Maybe not quite with this level of stupidity, because whoa, this is impressive. But especially with this.
How'd you get that armor?
Oh, they make some pretty convincing replicas these days, if you're willing to pay. Getting the whole getup was pretty expensive, but my wife was really supportive. She even paid for my shuttle fare off-world.
Matriarch Athena back there, the bartender, completely understands why this is happening. Oh god. So basically he's wearing prop replica armor and shaking people down for credits and trying to help people by talking to them. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Why were you trying to get the deed to this place?
This place is actually a front for a red sand dealer. I need to take it over to crack the ring.
What? Who the hell told you that?
The owner of that weapons store near the carport? She's an undercover cop. She told me about it when I introduced myself.
Listen, crap for brains. First, we don't sell red sand. Second, red sand is legal on Ilium. You just need a license.
Okay, so is 100% wrong. This is incredible. I love this. So I just said that Gianna Parsini was one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite side characters. Conrad Werner is one of my favorite subplots in the trilogy, just because of how self-referential and absurd it gets. It gets much better in the third game, I will say. Like, if you manage to get him to survive this nonsense, he survives through to the third game and actually does some helpful and, dare I say, heroic stuff. Just you wait. It gets better.
I'll talk to this undercover cop and figure out what's going on.
Thank you. If I kill annoying customers, it usually causes property damage. That comes out of my pay.
Just let me know if you need any help, Shepard.
Okay, go sit over there, comrade. Please. Okay, stand over there. That's fine. Alright. I'm gonna go see what the hell. While I go help Liara, because I still have to help Liara, because apparently this was the wrong direction to do that, and I have to go to the other place, the other side of the spaceport.
You're not using biotics to touch things up, are you? Actually, I just tried Exoderm. New Exoderm moisturizing cleanser. They'll never know you've entered the making stage.
Do you have anything flashier?
Right. Let's see.
Something that says, I own this room.
Bad luck on the stock market? Debt piling up? Perhaps you need to explore other options.
Listen, I know the data is vital to the Turosa family. The Sana Dantius didn't give us time to pack. I'm lucky I got out at all. Her mercenaries were starting to shoot. If she lets us back in, I'll get it, I promise. If not, well, we'll just have to hope.
So he's on the phone, but we're gonna let's talk to him and see if...
Excuse me, I'm on an important call.
Okay, he's on the phone. We're gonna see if we can help him out later. When we go to recruit Thane. Let's see.
Nosastra has recently received an unexpected visitor. in the form of a rare Justicar calling herself Samara. Samara denied our request for an interview.
Trust me, the goods coming in from the Terminus systems are great for business.
I don't know, some of them seem dangerous.
That's the whole point. Danger means more contract work for us.
Yeah, I love the incredibly corporate atmosphere here. It's neat. It is a very nice touch.
No, I haven't had any luck yet.
Gotta
She
talk to her,
insists
too.
it was legal. I don't know. I'm going to call in a favor and have a friend examine the contract.
There we go. Done with that. Let's see who she is and what she's up to.
Welcome to Baria Frontiers. Our sales kiosk is over there.
Okay. Never mind. How about Shiala? Remember her?
Shepard. I don't suppose you'd remember me. I'm Shiala. We met on Pharos during the Geth attack. Saren had given me to the Thorian creature as a slave, and you killed it. And saved me. I promised to help Zeus Hope recover. I'm actually here on Ilium for just that purpose.
How's Zeus Hope doing?
We've done a lot of rebuilding. We even salvaged some useful material from the Geth ship you destroyed. The Exogeny researchers got called back to their headquarters, however, along with what was left of the Thorian.
Is it Exogeny pushing colonists around again, or did the Thorians somehow survive our fight?
No. Exogeny has been very supportive of Zeus Hope. They actually seem to want to help us survive, and the Thorian is dead. Though, after all you went through to kill it, I understand your concern. I fear that after our adventure on Pharos, my purpose on Ilium will seem mundane by comparison.
Okay. I don't know, but I suspect the Thorian is still alive at some to some extent, in some way. Especially because we explicitly know that it has a distributed nervous system. So we just killed one node. But whatever.
Is there something I can do to help?
I'd appreciate it. I've reached the limits of my diplomatic abilities, and I'd prefer not to start trouble. Some of the colonists had health problems as a result of the Thorian control. We hired a colonial survey group to do some medical scans. But the medical contract apparently allows the company to perform invasive procedures without our consent. That's why I'm here.
Oh my gosh, Shepard, you can't just ask someone why they're green.
Wait a minute, Shiala. You were only green when the Thorian made you a clone. The real you was blue like normal Asari.
Those health problems I said were related to the Thorian control. This is mine. A few months after the Thorian died, my skin pigment changed. My biotic abilities are unstable as well. I'm also having vivid dreams about my time with the Thorian. It is disconcerting.
Okay.
What kind of health problems did the colonists have?
Headaches or muscle spasms similar to what they experienced while under Thorian control. Sometimes the colonists near another former Thorian victim shared sensations like heat or pain. It has to be a result of trace amounts of the Thorian's parasitic spores. You can see why we'd want it studied and cured.
This also becomes relevant later on. Alphaba. Well, I don't know what that means. Say Alphaba? Is this related in any way to the Mean Girls reference, or is this something else?
Tell me more about the contract you signed for these scans.
Baria Frontiers was interested in our problem. They offered to perform medical scans and deliver treatment for next to nothing. I should have known it was too good to be true, but we were desperate. In the fine print, we apparently agreed to let them perform invasive follow-up procedures if they deem it valuable. Which they have.
Okay, Alphaba is the Wicked Witch from Wicked. Got it. Okay. I have not seen Wicked. My knowledge of the Wizard of Oz lore comes from a vague, distant memory of reading the book, the original movie, Return to Oz, again, vaguely, which I haven't watched in a long time, and Oz the Great and Powerful, Amy Franco movie. It's actually pretty good. I liked him. I liked his character. The character of Oz was actually really good in that. Otherwise, the movie was kind of, I don't remember much about the plot or anything, but his character was really good. Oz was done very well. Also, the various parodies of every piece of media ever that has ever done a Wizard of Oz episode or motif or anything. And yes, Kylie says, y'all knew I had to do a musical reference at some point. Of course you did. Would barely be a stream without it. There actually is a book called Wicked that the musical was based off of. Didn't realize that. I don't know. I tend to, ever since a bad experience in high school, I tend to avoid books and other media, which does the whole like tell the villain's story inversion thing. Because in high school, when was this, junior year maybe? Something like that. In English class, we didn't read Beowulf. I did, because I was interested in such things. But the class did not read Beowulf. We read Grendel, which was a modern novelization telling the monsters story, which was bad. I don't recommend. In fact, I more highly recommend. Erica says Grendel. Ugh, what a pompous book. Yeah, it really was. I honestly recommend what I found instead, which was the Sci-Fi Channel original movie of the same name, titled Grendel. It is not based on that book. It is based on the original Legend of Beowulf, very loosely, in which Beowulf has an explosive crossbow with which he fights a Grendel. Pretty badass. It's really, really stupid. Exactly what you would expect from a Sci-Fi Channel original movie, but it was at least entertaining. Whereas the book Grendel was. Anyway, that's that. So I like I said, I tend to avoid the kind of like villain story inversion stories. I also did not like Maleficent, really at all. That is not a Disney villain that needed any depth. She is pure evil. That's the whole point of the character. It's literally in her name. She's an evil fairy. You don't need more than that. That's what that is. Anyway, back to our conversation.
Can they actually force these procedures on you?
No. But they can declare us in breach of contract, which means we're responsible for the full price we would have paid normally. Zoo's hope just got back on its feet. There's no way we can afford that, Shepard.
Yeah, that's rough. That is one of those like weird little contract loopholes that is kind of sketchy. Basically forcing a breach of contract or forcing somebody into an escape clause that has consequences to it. And honestly, this is the kind of thing that a lot of untoward contracts will rely on. Not that you'll have to do something, but that you'll put yourself in violation of the contract, and therefore there will be various consequences for it. They'll usually be monetary. WizKid says, as a big fan of Sleeping Beauty, I hated Maleficent. That movie absolutely butchered her character. Literally, as well. King Stefan did. What with the saw. Right. Your point. Yes, I tend to agree. There was no reason for her to be a sympathetic villain. There was absolutely no reason for her to have any kind of a relationship with Sleeping Beauty, with Aurora, throughout. That was absurd. I did not care for that. To be fair, I liked the bumbling good fairies. They were portrayed quite well. Maleficent was not. Her character was ruined. I like the actor who plays King Stefan, though. He's cool. I like him better in the A-Team the remake, the A-Team though, as the crazy one. Someone will think of it. The crazy guy, the A-Team. WizKid asked, what was the thing you wanted me to remind you of again? I don't remember, fortunately. I remember I wanted you to remind me of something, but I don't remember what it was. Scroll through Facebook. It was on there somewhere. Kylie, WizKid says to Kylie, Wicked on the other hand is excellent. Maybe it is. I don't know. I've been burned too many times by such things. That's all. I can accept that it may have perfectly well been quite good, but I don't know. I have very little time to read fiction, so I tend to go for sure things if I'm gonna read fiction, or stuff I've read before or related to stuff that I've read. This kid says, well, shit, presumably about me forgetting what you wanted. Listen, I asked you to remind me, and you're mad at me for not remembering what to remind you to remind me to talk about? What is this? That's not fair. Anyway. I might, to be fair, I might find the cast recording and actually watch it at some point. That maybe. I might give it a shot there. But reading the full book, like I said, I fortunately don't have the time for fiction. Too much of it, really. Most of my reading time is occupied by nonfiction, and lots of it, both research and just reviewing stuff for class. It's way over there, but hang on a sec. Let me move that. Here it is. This is my current carrying around book. The complete works of Plato. I've just been reading rereading, I should say, once again, the Euthyphro and the Apology for class, and for other class later on. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm usually reading. Yeah. Riley asks, which villain would you say would deserve a redemption arc or a spin-off story? I know it's cliche, but I kind of say Loki from the Avengers. And he's going to get one, the show. Because he got one. He was basically redeemed by Infinity War, by the time of Infinity War. But that thread kind of got cut off at the beginning of the movie, if you catch my meaning. And now he basically gets to do it again. So I don't know if... I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to rehash it some more of the same territory, or if they're just going to go straight villain with him, and he's just causing chaos. But yeah, the Loki series could be good for that purpose or for other reasons. Oh, WizKid says, unfortunately, the book and the musical are vastly different. The musical is too happy sounding. Huh. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll see. I might, like I said, I might give the musical a shot. Like I said, I don't think I would be able to dedicate the time to giving the book. So anyway, let's try and handle this.
I'll talk to the survey group.
I appreciate it, Shepard. The Barrier Frontiers representative knows about the issue.
Yeah, WizKid, if you do think of what it was that I wanted to... excuse me again. That I wanted you to remind me about, because I don't remember. I genuinely forgot. He says it's unique in a good way, though. The world building is cool, and I like where he went with the threading influences from the actual original Oz books into his world building. Okay? Yeah, and I can appreciate that kind of thing. I can. I don't know. Maybe eventually, very eventually, summertime or something. Have the extra time. As if I have extra time. We'll see.
I saw your conversation, human. You're here to complain about the medical contracts those colonists from Theros signed. I suggest you leave. Your life is short enough. Do not waste what time you have bothering me.
Ooh, she's right, but that was mean.
Why are you insisting on these tests? What use could they possibly be?
Their use is not your concern. A legal binding contract was signed. Nothing else matters. All of you. Humans, Salarians, Turians. You come to our planet, then complain that our laws don't suit you. The galaxy would be a better place if nobody but the Asari had ever dragged themselves out of the primordial muck.
Okay, space racist. And people call Ashley a space racist. Listen to this. Listen to this. Arinya is giving Devil Wears Prada vibes, says Kylie. Yeah. She is harsh, she's a bitch, and she's crazy racist. Somebody else, sort of background dialogue that we kind of walked by, mentions that she basically takes being Asari pureblood as a point of pride, whereas usually it's an insult. Because, there are genetic problems. Basically, genetically speaking, it's almost the equivalent of incest. Which we'll find out more about that, a lot more about that, when we talk to Samara. So, more about Wicked. Kylie said, yeah, although some of the details are a bit much in some parts of the story. Oh, well, it sounds like I would like it. I read and I participate in literature in general, whether that is movies, TV, video games, or traditional books, mostly for world building, which is why I loved the old Star Wars Expanded Universe. It's why I love Mass Effect. It's why I love Tolkien. It's why I love basically all of the literature that I love. It is purely for the sake of world building. It's not for the actual narrative or characters or story or anything. I mean, yes, to a degree, but it's mostly it's my favorite part. Wizkid says it goes in a dark fantasy direction I really dig. And making Elphaba a sympathetic villain goes a long way towards fleshing out how the social structures of Oz operate. Actually, now that you mention it, Oz the Great and Powerful, the movie, the Jimmy Franco movie, did the same thing. So, I mean, I guess that does draw on the books to an extent. So yeah, okay, fair enough. Wizkid asks, does that mean she's an Asari inbred? No, it means that both of her parents were Asari, which we'll look at more when we talk to Samara later on, because that is kind of the equivalent of Asari inbreeding. That Asari are exogamous. They seek mating pairs with other races. For the purpose of genetic diversity, for the most part. So it's Liara explained it. Liara is also a pureblood. She explained it in the first game as purebloods. Asari see it as not adding anything new, not getting anything from the bonding from the other parent, right? And so it's they see it as a kind of genetic dead end kind of thing, if you want. Wizkid says it's a fantasy setting that doesn't get a lot of attention because of the musical, and that really disappoints me. Fair enough. I would really like, Kylie says, I'd really like Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire series. A lot of awesome world building in those. Which, yeah, I haven't read those either. Wizkid also points out it was like a decade before the movie came out, and in my opinion, the Gregory Maguire book did a far better job at it. Okay, also not something I'm familiar with, or at least not something I've read. Wizkid asks, I thought Liara's father was a Krogan. Sorry, her father's father was a Krogan. No spoilers. No spoilers. Her father's father was a Krogan, and I'll leave it at that. Let's ask about why she's such a racist bitch.
Why are you so prejudiced against aliens?
Where do I begin?
Wow.
With Solarian explorers unleashing the Rachni upon us, then unleashing the Krogan to correct their mistake?
Okay, fair
or the
point.
Turians, so eager to bomb every problem away? Or humans, the new arrivals who already think they should be in charge? Every war that has plagued this galaxy has been caused by your people. My people's deaths are on your hands.
So she makes some solid points, as reticent as I am to admit it. Oh, Gregory Maguire is the author of Wicked. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Again, not super familiar enough with it to immediately associate the name.
Whose deaths are we talking about exactly?
The mother of my daughters was killed on the Quarian homeworld during the initial Geth uprising.
Ah.
My daughters died on the Citadel when the Geth attacked. One worked in the embassy. The other was a greeter for the consort. I'm not speaking in hypotheticals, human. The aliens will never be my allies. The best they can do is give me useful medical data.
Why was your bond made on the Quarian homeworld?
Studying the Quarians. Not their technology, but their music. She loved all their art. Said they had old souls. I think that's where my daughters got it from. Both of them loved talking with people, exploring new cultures.
They sound like wonderful people. The galaxy is lesser for their loss.
Yes, it is.
Do you think they'd want you to do this?
I'm not I didn't...
Nice.
Sending an amended contract. No more tests, no fees. There's enough grief in this galaxy. I don't need to add to it.
Nice. And yes, Wizkid, those tiers are really impressive. Let's get these. These are just star charts. With various, I think, side quests in them. So we'll get to those eventually. Yeah, really nicely impressive.
Did you get the star charts?
Yeah. I had to deal with
go.
Arinia, though. I feel like I need a shower.
What do you expect? She's a pureblood. They're all like that.
Okay, well, that was mean too. But yeah. Yeah, I honestly feel bad too. I mean, she went through, like, the shit she went through, I can understand where she's coming from. I mean, it doesn't really excuse it. It doesn't excuse her just being blatantly racist, but I get it. And it's not just like, it's not like, oh, a Quarian killed my wife, or a human killed my children. It's not that. If it were just that, that would be simple. That would be really straightforward. That'd be, the kind of thing that we can really relate to. But this goes way deeper. This is like the Quarians as a people, not just a Quarian, but the Quarians as a people were responsible for what caused her wife's death. The humans, sketchy, but let's just say that hypothetically that the humans, because we, poked the bear and got Sovereign all pissed or whatever, in her head at least, the humans as a people were to blame for what got her children killed. That is a much, much more interesting kind of motivation than just, a human did something and then, you expand the prejudice to everybody. It really is a kind of collective guilt because it was a society in general to some degree responsible. Not to some degree, because, collective blame is already problematic and all that, but and also intergenerational blame, especially with having to do with the Quarians. But yeah, that is one of those things that should be. It's almost understandable, right? there is sense to be had about what's going on, about why she feels this way. But as WizKid points out, I think you're absolutely right. Racism only begets more prejudice and hate. It goes to show how dangerous collectivism of any kind is. Yeah, even if there is this kind of justification for it to an extent, right? Even if a society in general can be blamed for something, that doesn't mean that members of that society, like 8, 9, 10 generations hence, can also be blamed. That becomes the same kind of stereotyping as, a Quarian killed my wife and so on, at Aquarians in general. That becomes the same kind of racial stereotype. Which is, again, it's founded on, a faulty kind of collectivism.
You did it. I just got the revised contracts. Thank you, Shepard. You've saved Zoo's hope again. I don't think I could have... Is it always like this? Yesterday's problems lingering in some new form. Isn't anything ever just fixed?
It's rough. It's rough. But, and actually, that is a good point. Like, we fix something and then something else goes wrong. We fix something and something else goes wrong. But at the same time, we're fixing things. So that's at least a good thing, I think.
You've got the power to make a difference, Shiala. Not everyone does.
You're right. You gave us a chance by saving the colony. I can't let them down. I won't. Thank you for what you've done here, Shepard. I'll keep doing what I can. Maybe sometime when I'm not organizing the colony and you're not doing whatever you do.
Was she flirting? Or just, hey, let's go out for drinks. I don't know. Hard to tell.
Irinia won't even talk to the non-Asari customers. It's like she's turned pureblood into her religion or something.
I heard she lost her daughters when the Geth attacked the Citadel.
Right. I'm sure she was a pleasure to deal with before that.
I mean, to be fair, the Quarian thing was like 400 years ago. Or no, it's like 300 years ago, because this is, what, 2186, I think? Yeah, 2186. This is 2188. It was 2 years later. So this is 2188.
I'm telling you, relax. Vax will never notice a few missing pieces. No, I can't get in, because it's a crime scene. It's all locked down. Eclipse mercs, some Justicar, I don't know. Nobody is ever going to see the extra merchandise, which is why we're going to be rich.
Uh-oh. WizKid says it sounded like flirting? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could have been. It could have not been. I mean, who knows with Asari? Was that spacist? Was that space racist? Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
You're sure gateway weapons and armor?
Oh, blue rose of Ilium.
Oh, I love these two.
Let your roots dig deep into the hot soil of Tuchanka. Let our scorching sun and sheeting rain turn your supple beauty into strength. For if our love is to survive, it must grow thorns to pierce the hand of any that would uproot it.
I mean, yeah, the Asari's probably thirsty, but not as thirsty as Char.
What do you want? Sorry, that damn Krogan's love poems are getting on my nerves.
Love these two. They're so adorable.
Is that Krogan bothering you?
No, you don't need to hurt him or anything. He's harmless. Which, I know, Krogan, so it's hard to believe. His name is Char. We're kind of dating, but, well, we're on a break. And he's trying to show me how sensitive he is by, well, wooing me. It's really bad.
Must grow thorns to pierce the hand of any that would.
I know, got a regular space Romeo over here. Kylie says, I love this guy. He's so awesome. Remember this, because, again, these two come back in Mass Effect 3.
It doesn't seem common for Asari to date Krogan. What brought you two together?
He's a fun guy, really smart, especially for a Krogan, and he's got a good job as a transport technician. It's fun to join a mercenary guild or dance at bars for a few centuries, but eventually you hit the matron stage, you know? Then you get your back tattoo removed, let your scalp go back to its natural blue, and settle down with someone dependable.
I will build you a garden from the
For a few
bones of my
centuries.
ancestors.
The whole like sorry live for frickin' ever thing is it's kind of trippy sometimes. But yeah, the again, Asari life cycle goes maiden, which is like the first few hundred years where they are very outgoing. They go and explore the galaxy and get into all sorts of crazy trouble and usually get themselves killed. Yeah, back tattoo removed. Don't you have a back tattoo from your maiden days, WizKid? Then matron, when they sort of their biological clock starts ticking and they need to settle down. They have a biological drive to settle down, have children. Then the matriarch stage, which is it's not clear whether it's like menopause where they stop having children. But they usually will stop having children, and they'll sort of retire into aged wisdom sort of thing. Oh yeah, back tattoo getting removed. Yeah, it does sound like it hurts, Kylie. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't want to do it, but yeah. Then again, I don't live for 8, 9, 10 years plus. So, what's a few hours of excruciating pain in centuries of life? Whatever. Who knows?
So why are the two of you on a break?
He's serious. Serious, as in talking about kids. Char is a great guy to date, but for something permanent... Krogans live long lives. It's not like dating a human where you just stick it out for a century till they die. No offense. It made me wonder if he really likes me, or if he just wants kids. He can't have them any other way, because of the genophage.
Yeah, that's true. So questions. WizKid asks, how many children do Asari typically have? Totally depends. The Asari we know of had anywhere from 1 to... I'm trying to think of what the most actually mentioned is. 3 or 4 at least. But again, usually quite spaced out. Like, I've never heard of Asari twins, for example. Usually spaced out pretty significantly. And oftentimes with different partners, like once a former partner dies. Right? So if an Asari marries a Solarian, they might have 1, maybe 2 kids, because Solarians only live 30 or 40 years. Or a human, they might have a couple, because humans live to like 100, maybe 150 if they're lucky these days. So, okay, they've got time to have a couple of kids, but remember, Asari reach maturity when they're 100 years old. So, like, 100 is the Asari's equivalent of, like, 17 or 18 for humans. Yeah, WizKid, like WizKid just said, right? It makes sense because it takes so long to mature. So yeah, they reproduce slowly. They do everything slowly. Asari have that kind of long view, which means they act and they do things very, very slowly. Listen to other species, humans especially. So yeah, that's one of those things. Reminds Erica of Ben catching Helene early in her maiden years. This is from our Mass Effect tabletop. Erica's character Ben was dating an Asari maiden, who was making excuses for just because most Asari maidens don't want to be serious about stuff doesn't mean that I can't be, that kind of thing. Or this is also true. There's a direct parallel with Shepard and Liara. If you romance Liara's like 108 years old at this point. She's like, in human years, that's like 18. She's a child prodigy who is barely an adult. And again, if she and Shepard marry, and if Shepard survives the trilogy, presumably they're together for her like second century of life. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, it happens. It's rare, just given how Asari psychology works. WizKid says, so since we live to be like 150 nowadays, does that mean we aren't as frail? Yeah, but probably only because of medical interventions. Right, most diseases are not a death sentence, even what are pretty severe ones now. Most diseases are treatable. It's that kind of thing, and also preventable because of various technology, and also things like gene mods, genetic modification, that sort of thing. And also things like technological implants, cybernetic implants and things are relatively common in Mass Effect universe. Quite frankly, they seem to me more common than would be realistic, just because, for example, this is an old phone by modern standards. I've had this for 2 years-ish. I realistically would get this replaced if I were not cheap. Imagine if instead of a phone that goes in your hand, you had an implanted bit of tech that goes in your hand, right? That means that you have to go under the knife whenever, like in surgery, whenever you want to upgrade your tech. And if modern standards are anything to go off of, that's pretty often. That seems insane to me. That seems very, very implausible when it comes to just how human beings operate and how reticent human beings are to invasive medical procedures, especially for practical and for how do I put it, like for utilitarian purposes, let's say. WizKid says, so we live to be like 60 or 70 and then start to get augments and stuff. Not really. It's more like you start getting like cybernetic. You can get cybernetic things early on that are going to prevent problems from occurring. Right? Like if I could do this now, for example. My eyes suck. I'm blind, basically, without contacts or without glasses. In the Mass Effect setting, I could get either cochlear, that's ear, like eye implants, like the Elusive Man has the little eye implants. His irises do have the weird little like glowy bits. So I could get eye implants, or even just like now I could get something like LASIK. So if there's a fault early on, I can get something that will not only repair the fault, but will prevent that from being a fault later on. So it's a long-term kind of thing, not just a quick fix. That's at least a lot of the impression that I get. And also, a lot of what we hear about is for soldiers, and soldiers in the Mass Effect universe have lots of genetic engineering done, things like for like bone density and things to prevent muscle atrophy and 0G, right? Those kinds of things that we always hear about. WizKid says, okay, so it extends our youth and vitality a couple of decades. A very Deus Ex-esque. Yeah, kinda. And, of course, also in your old age, you're less likely to die from diseases, and injuries are less common because of safety stuff. If you're going to fall and break your hip, but a Mass Effect field cushions the fall, that kind of thing, you're not going to die from it. And also, a lot of damage is repairable. But, I mean, think about it this way, too. Admiral Hackett, who we have seen in the game, he looks old. He's like 60. I mean, yes, I know military service really kind of ages you, and fighting in war and all that, but he still looks old. He looks like a modern-day 60-year-old. So, yeah, there's that. It's not like the aging process slows down too much. It just kind of extends your viability in terms of your viable years. Right? You can live like, even if you look like a 60-year-old when you're 60, you can live like a 40-year-old for a lot longer. Something like that.
That sounds like a question you should ask him.
I did. I don't think you realized that our kids would always have been Asari. Non-Asari don't always get that we're not taking alien DNA, we're just using it to randomize some of the genetic information. Anyway, Char was quiet for a long time. Then he said that he'd love our girls no matter what color they were.
You need to talk to your boyfriend. He's just gonna keep shouting poetry until you do.
I know, but it's tough. I like him a lot. Hell, I love him. But I don't know if he's permanent Bond material.
Do it.
Look at him. He's obviously crazy about you.
Is he? I mean, what if he just wants to have kids? Am I just his baby-making machine? He said I wasn't, but...
If he said that, then you either trust him, so you have nothing to worry about, or you don't, and you've already decided.
I guess I hadn't thought about it like that. And I do trust him, if he said it. I'm going to talk to him. Here, I've given you a discount at the terminal. Thanks for the help.
Aw. No, oh, they left. They left to go be cute somewhere else. Alright, let's see what we get. Ooh, a fish! Let's not kill this one. Ooh, model ships. Let's... Wait, we can't kill those. That's good. Alright. WizKid says this is an excellent commentary on contemporary dating.
What about you?
Yeah, I get that.
Going to try and make it as a commando?
Why not? Every Asari has biotics. Might as well use them, right? Damn, that's a hell of a sniper rifle.
Can I help you with something?
Oh yes, Conrad Werner. Oh yeah, okay, we were on this quest an hour ago.
I talked to an old friend, Conrad Werner. You told him that the Eternity Lounge was selling red sand.
Oh, you're Conrad's friend. Yes, that place is really dangerous. I should know. I'm an undercover cop. Did you get me the deed to the bar? I need the deed to, stop the red sand dealers.
I softened up the bar owner, but you need to go in and finish them off.
Really? Are you sure?
Absolutely. You just need to close the deal. Go in, be tough, and let them know you're with me. They'll hand the deed right over.
Wow, great. Here, I'll set you up for a discount. Thanks for the help.
She's gonna go get her ass kicked now. That'll be fun. Yeah, I definitely need this.
This should come in handy.
Shepard, you don't need to yell. Need submachine gun damage. Assault rifle damage, I'll wait. Ooh, power damage. Yeah, let's get it. Probably not going to use it much, but good to have. Okay, we need to do this really quick. Let's go back over the bar. See what the deal is with Conrad. And then wrap it up. Wrong way.
It's just, we're looking for weapons. Shouldn't you be taking this seriously?
Hey, I'm 60 years old and finally out of my parents' house. And Eclipse girls never lack for company.
You could get killed.
What about you?
I'm almost 20. My genetic stats are average.
For example, you know that new drug, the one that causes permanent neural scarring?
Shepard, this is Liara. I've got the data. Come see me when you've got a moment.
Oh, right. These two over here, the Asari and the Solarian, that is apparently her stepdad.
And everything's for sale. Either we tax and monitor
so
it
she's
to
like
control,
60,
or the smugglers get a
and
monopoly.
her 20-year-old Solarian stepdad is dating her mom, and is going and wants to basically marry her or the Solarian equivalent, which it kind of demonstrates that weird dynamic, of the extremely long-lived. Yeah, it is kind of awkward, the age difference being 60, which is the Asari equivalent of like 15, and 20, which is the Solarian equivalent of like 50.
You want to know a secret? I had it done a few years back.
Hello, Commander Shepard. Liara will be pleased to see you.
I'll talk to you later.
Something creepy.
Of course, Commander.
Oh, Solarian, WizKid, Solarians lay eggs.
Shepard, it's good to see you
Not
again.
even kidding.
Thank you for getting me that system data. Here, it's not much, but hopefully it will help you on your mission. Do you remember the Shadow Broker? With the data you got me, I may be able to find information caches from his agents.
We remember the Shadow Broker, we don't need to ask. Yeah, so Solarians lay eggs in massive clutches. They arrange reproduction contracts on the basis of genetics, like genetic compatibility. They're a largely matriarchal society, so the females lay eggs, and then like most Earth reptiles, the temperature of the eggs determines whether they're going to be male or female. And so based on the comparative number of males and females currently in any given area or society within the Solarian Union, they control for how many males and how many females are going to be born out of any clutch of eggs. It's all very scientific and very regimented for, a species that at least claims to have no sex drive. Which, makes sense in that.
Are you on the run from the Shadow Broker? I can help you.
Actually, it would be more accurate to say that the Shadow Broker is on the run from me. We crossed paths not long after you died. Since then, I've been working to take him down. With this data, I'm a step closer.
Let's do it.
You can't come with me because
Let's
you're
not
after
do
the
it right
Shadow
now.
Broker?
But we'll do it eventually.
What if I help you find him?
I'm sorry, Shepard. The galaxy doesn't work that way. I need to find leads, trace information. I need to work. I can't do that on the Normandy. I wish I could.
You can in like a year. Whatever, we'll get there.
I've never seen you ready to execute someone in cold blood. What did the Shadow Broker do to you?
I was on a job with a friend. The Shadow Broker's people caught us. My friend didn't escape. I don't know if he's dead or being interrogated. But I need to find him. I owe him my life. And I need to make the Shadow Broker pay for what he did.
This is talking about the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC that we're going to do later. It's really good. WizKid asked, so to clarify, no. WizKid asked, does that mean that they routinely genocide their own egg clutches if it's the wrong gender? No. They can, because the male-female ratio is controllable by temperature, they have incubation facility things that can control the ratio, basically. So it's all tightly controlled, but not through a kind of eugenics of the typical murdery sort. It's a little bit weird and disturbing, but again, I would argue that it isn't a violation of natural law, due to the nature of Solarian reproduction, that it is controllable, and so there's no harm in controlling it in that sense. Likewise, Solarian unions, like unions between male and female, like marriage, whatnot, is unnecessary, right, for the rearing of young, especially given the size of offspring and the communal nature of their society. They're a highly interlinked kind of society. So the parents per se are less important than the surrounding community, the society. And they decide who to mate with whom on the basis of genetics, which is a little bit strange, but it's a version of sex selection, which every aselecting species, I think, whichever it is, basically does already, but they do it in a regimented scientific manner. WizKid says, they control the temperature to control the balance. Interesting. Fucked up in some ways, but not necessarily immoral. It's at least strange, by mammalian standards, right? Reptiles don't have families, mammals and birds do, right? Exactly. Turians do, you'll notice, because they're birds. There you go. I actually don't know if Turians lay eggs or not. It's never made clear, and I'm okay with that. So, neat. Hooray. Probably. Who knows? It's strange. But yeah, Turians clearly do have families. It's actually incredibly important, Turians. So, yeah. In fact, Garrus talks about his father a lot, if you remember.
Let me know if there's anything else I can do.
Thanks, Shepard. I will. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
How's your own work going?
The data you gave me was extremely helpful. It gave me a target. The Shadow Broker has several contacts here on Ilium. The most powerful is someone called the Observer. Taking down the Observer will put me closer to the Shadow Broker. I could use your help.
Tell me what I can do to help.
Your data pointed me at logs kept by Shadow Broker agents. The logs were deleted. but it may be possible to reconstruct some of it. The Shadow Broker is cautious. His agents are referred to only by their title and race.
My inquiries have narrowed the Observer down to one of 5 operatives. A Turian, a Salarian, a Krogan, a Batarian, and a Vorcha.
If you can refine the list, I'll know where to strike.
Yeah, WizKid asked about, saying about dinosaurs having families. I don't know enough about paleontology to say one way or the other, so I'm going to have to take your word on that, because they were more birds than lizards. That might be true. I will take your word for it. Because again, I don't know. I don't know enough about dinosaur mating habits. Back in my day, when I was a kid and thought dinosaurs were just the coolest, we didn't know nearly as much about dinosaurs as we do today. There have been massive advancements in paleontology since the last time I was super interested. So, no. Cool though. Cool though, if that is the case. I'm definitely gonna do this.
Do you have any specifics on these agents?
I'm afraid not. Nyxeris was lucky to get as much as she did.
I was happy to help, ma'am.
The data is our only hope of determining which one is the Observer.
Alright, who wants to guess?
If we wait too long, they'll all disappear.
I'll reconstruct the data and tell you what I find.
Thank you, Shepard. When you find something, call me on the radio channel we used in the old days. I can't risk handling this in person.
Alright. WizKid says some of them did.
Liara.
Oviraptor was caught protecting its eggs, not stealing someone else's. Huh. Neat.
Discipline, teamwork, confidence. When you join the Blue Suns mercenary group,
Alright, let's hack this and see what's up. Alright, well, we got one vote for Liara's helper. Okay. Data point 5, Vorch Trader has requested no further contact with the Salarian. Salarian is becoming more trouble than he is worth. Observer recommends a kill, but she may have a grudge. Okay. Data point. More data. Hack. Hackety, 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 hackety. Any other guesses? Data point 4. Turian contact working well with the traitor. Observer has rescinded kill order against him, given difficulty in securing contact with the traitor through other methods. Data point 5. Just in case you need a reiteration. She, meaning presumably Observer.
How can you short sell on prefabs after these human colony attacks? They're going to see a ton of business.
Okay.
A ton of immediate charity business, followed by a freeze as new colony plans dry up.
Wait.
Sell,
Ah.
sell.
Come on. There we go. Teenager. What teenager are you talking about? Oh, you mean Liara? Oh, no. The she was in data point 5. The she is referring to the Observer. Observer recommends a kill, but she, the Observer, grudge. Yeah, that's not talking about Liara, but yes, she's holding a grudge. Damn sure. Data point 1, Traitor tried to kill the Batarian, claims it was because he hates slavers, but the men were more likely fighting over money. For now. Maybe we should say, observe. Now, anyway, let's,
There we go. Run away, you bastards. Give up your
got that.
plans.
Oh, Ceres technology now.
If this is the best you have, I'll make do.
There we go.
But you're certain the neural stimulators are compatible with both my suit and Asari physiology?
Absolutely. In fact, I use this model at home, sir.
Oh. Do you?
Oh, God. You know what's going on over there, right? We're aware of this. We can hear that. Whoa. Ooh. Okay, data point 3. Turian's asking too many questions. Observer recommends terminating him and framing assassin or Salarian contact. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I think the last one's up this way.
Entertainment would like to respond to complaints about our upcoming film, Blast of the Jellyfish Stings. And our Anti-Defamation Association claims that our
Oh, Blasto.
Insults Hanar society, going so far as to call it exploitation.
Damn it, this is just a misunderstanding!
Tell it to the judge. My surveillance vids caught your extortion attempt from 4 different angles.
I was misled! I was told that you had agreed to sell!
Take her away, before I have my bartender throw her out.
We're helping Conrad Werner right now, by the way. Let's go talk to him. Hey, Conrad.
What happened? The undercover cop from the weapons kiosk just got arrested.
She wasn't a cop. She was a deep cover operative from a terrorist cell. I'd never have found her if not for you.
Bullshit.
Really. You did a great job, Conrad. Now please, go home. Let me take it from here.
Can do, Shepard. And thanks. It's really good to have you back.
Now please go home. Please go home. Alright, let's see. There. Actually down up there. And there. Okay, data point 2 we didn't get to. Oh yeah. Smuggler and assassin have refused work with the Vorcha due to lack of trust. Odd to see scruples from the men at this point. Alright, who do we think it is? Who should we tell Liara it is? Given the puzzle. 3. Okay, WizKid says it's the assistant. Let's accuse her assistant of being the observer.
On the observer.
Well, it's not the Solarian, Vorcha, Turian, Krogan, Batarian, or none of the
All
suspects.
5 of the suspects are male. The observer is female.
Did you catch
Something's
that?
not right. Who gave you this lead?
My assistant, Nick Saris. She got the information. Nick Saris gave me the information. Nick Saris, could I see you in here for a moment? Shepard, I'll talk to you later.
He's gonna play her alive. Alright, so let's talk to the bartender.
Thanks for taking care of that crazy guy. Saves me having to beat him to death with his own spine. That makes the other customers nervous. Anyway, this is Eternity, and I'm Athena, a sorry matriarch and bartender. Get you anything?
Fucking love her too.
You're an Asari matriarch? I thought matriarchs served as honored advisors.
Right. Which I do here at this bar. I know, not what you'd expect. But nobody on Thessia wanted to listen to my wise counsel, so here I am. Dad was a Krogan who fought in the Rachni Wars. My mother fought in the Krogan rebellions. I've pretty much seen it all.
If your mother fought in the rebellions and your father was a Krogan, didn't that cause tension?
They didn't meet until a few hundred years after the Turians put the boot in with the damn genophage. As far as either one knew, they were both just warriors. Dad boasted. Mom stayed quiet. Mom was a matriarch herself. Dad was near on 1,000 when the truth came out.
WizKid asks, so am I right, or did I just get the poor intern murdered? I don't know, we'll find out.
What happened when he found out?
I was about 100, shaking my ass in some sleazy bar. They got me on the link. Told me that they were gonna have it out, and made me promise to love whichever one survived. Turned out to be damn easy, since neither one did. Family, huh? What a kick in the quad.
Of her. What about Mom?
Your mother fought in the Krogan rebellions?
I don't know whether she fought. She scouted, sniped a few people, and blew up a couple of space stations. You know, commando stuff. She'd put the old commando leathers on for special nights with Dad. Goddess, that was embarrassing.
I bet.
You said your father fought in the Rachni Wars?
Yeah, when he was young. Loved showing off his war scars. Krogan think they're sexy. Me, I go for asses. When I was a girl, he'd tell me about landing on this poison-filled world and stomping a Rachni queen into muck. Scientists say all that stuff about us getting genetic material from the father is crap. Seems like I got a bit of his mouth, though.
Oh god, this is fantastic. Fantastic. How about working in a bar? How's this?
Why is a matriarch in a bar serving drinks?
It's better than what most other matriarchs are doing. Look at that screw-up with Saren and his Geth a few years back. Their ships were hanging bare-assed in space when Saren started shooting. If not for you humans, we would have bought it right there. And I warned him. Told people on Thessia what was coming, and they didn't want to hear it.
That sounds personal. Whiskets, it sounds like a pleasant man for a Krogan. Yeah, I guess so, actually, yeah. Genial.
What didn't they want to hear?
That art and philosophy and political prowess wasn't gonna cut it. We can't go a single Asari lifetime without some big war breaking out. We need to get our daughters working earlier, not spending their wild maiden years stripping or in merc bands. When I started talking about making new mass relays ourselves, they laughed the blue off my ass. So now, I serve drinks.
It's archetypal, Shepard. What do you mean? You mean the Krogan father and Asari mother thing? That? Or matriarch serving drinks? Because this is that's ambitious as hell. She wanted to make new mass relays? Jesus. That's ambitious.
What's it like living for nearly 1,000 years?
Violent. Wars break out. Colonies get destroyed. Sometimes you hear good news, like that colony on Pharaoh surviving. That's the exception, though. You find peace in whatever arms will hold you. Turian, Elcor, Hanar. Even had a pureblood daughter. I was the father. Didn't work out. And one day you wake up, your figure's gotten matriarchal, and everyone else is too young to remember how the Quarians looked inside those suits.
Anyway. Well, that's all we got for now.
Thanks for telling me about that.
That's what I'm here for, babe. Get you anything else?
I'd like something to drink.
Sure. I'll set up a tab at the drink
Oh,
kiosk.
the wise old barmaid
Knock
slinging
yourself
drinks and words of wisdom.
Literally, if you want.
Yeah, very much so.
Just don't drink anything for Turians or Quarians. Does nasty things to your insides. Once saw Krogan drink a liquefied Turian on a dare 6 or 7 centuries back. Nobody came out of that one looking pretty.
Thanks for setting up the drinks.
Right. Don't eat the nuts in the red bowls. They're for Turians and Quarians. You'll get cramps.
Alright. Let's not. Let's have a glass of wine. Sweet and yellow glass of famous Asari honey. That's delightful. I mean, the Quarians are basically just humans who are allergic to literally everything, so it says. Well, they have a fundamentally different physiology. They're based on a different body chemistry. So there's at least that. Alright, let's stop by really quick Liara's office. See if she smeared her intern across the floor. And then, do we want to get Thane first? Or do we want to get Samara first?
That slavery is an inextricable part of their caste system, and that
All
by
right.
limiting the slave trade, the council
Let's
is
do it.
violating their cultural
Excellent. So the total comes to 120 credits.
Oh, of course, I just need to make a call. I should, check the warranty first.
Poor bastard.
Loser.
Whoa, that was rude for a saleswoman. Okay. Okay, yes, they do basically look like themselves. So, yeah, alright, let's get Thane. Sounds good to me.
Shepard, it's good to see you again. Nixeris had some interesting data hidden away. Thank you, Shepard. I wouldn't have caught her without you. I'm one step closer to the Shadow Broker thanks to you.
Good call.
Here. Nixeris was very well compensated. You need it more than I do.
Did you have any trouble with Nixeris?
She was very talented. I imagine that had she been ordered to assassinate me, I had never seen her coming. But her barriers needed practice. Practice I'm afraid she won't be getting.
What's the next step in your hunt?
Now I gather information, peel away layers of lies, and shine light into the shadows. And when I find the Shadow Broker, I hit him with a biotic field so strong that what's left of his body will fit into a coffee cup.
You okay?
That anger can't be just from what you've told me.
You okay, blueberry friend?
What else happened between you and the Shadow Broker?
Did Cerberus ever tell you how they recovered your body? I gave it to them. I gave you to them, Shepard. Because they said they could rebuild you. And to do that, I had to take it from the Shadow Broker, who was going to sell your corpse to the collectors.
Well, okay. That's a big bomb to drop. Well, I mean, WizKid says, Liara, you didn't need to kill the poor girl. I mean, listen. Business is business. Liara's kind of a professional psychopath now, so that's cool.
Why didn't you tell me about this before now?
Because I screwed it up, Shepard. I barely escaped with my own life. And when I gave you to Cerberus, I told myself I was doing it for you. For a chance to bring you back. But I knew Cerberus would use you for their own business. And I let it happen. Because I couldn't let you go. I'm sorry.
You did the right thing, Liara. My mission is important. I couldn't do it if you hadn't given me to Cerberus.
Thank you. I was afraid you'd hate me. So that's why I must destroy the Shadow Broker. For what he did to my friend, and to you, and whatever he's doing with the collectors.
Okay, so despite what Sherlock Holmes might say, WizKid, there is very little difference between sociopath and psychopath, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong about it, but I don't think there's much.
Let me know if you need any more help.
Good luck splattering people against walls, Liara.
I will. No. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not just yet.
I'll talk to you later, Liara.
Gotta get renegade. That's
the
not
council thought that Blasto, the first NR Spectre, would play by the rules.
God.
This one has forgotten whether its heat sink is over capacity. It wonders whether the criminal scum considers itself fortunate.
They were wrong.
This one doesn't have time for your solid waste excretions.
He's got a lover in every port and a gun in every tentacle.
Enkindle this.
Blasto the Jellyfish Stings, available for extranet purchase this fall from Ilium Entertainment.
I want to see that movie. I want to see that movie so bad. Actually, I want to see all 7 of them. Because by the 3rd game, there's 7 of them. 6 months later. I love it so much. Oh, it's so good. Alright, let's go get things. WizKid says, no, there's a discernible difference between psychopath and sociopath. It's just that they both get thrown around so often that, in common parlance, that they are practically identical.
Listen,
Fair enough.
I know the data is vital.
Sherlock does lean more sociopath, though. Does it matter between which versions of Sherlock Holmes, or is it or in general? Alright, Serena, let's go get Thane.
Serena?
Who should we bring?
Who wants to know?
Name's Shepard. Liara Tassoni said you might have
Should we bring on
information
this
on
one?
Thane Krios.
Tana, cover for me. Over here.
Fluffy.
Yeah, I know who Thane Krios is. I might have passed him some information, but I didn't hire him. What do you want to know?
Just tell me what you know about him.
I ran
Wasn't what
security
that
for
said.
Nasana Dantius. Then I found out she was having people killed to cover up her dirty secrets. She fired me when I confronted her. Her loss. I might have been good enough to stop Thane from taking her down.
Why does that name sound familiar?
She was a representative on the Citadel a few years ago.
Right. She had me kill her sister, the slaver.
I thought that was just a rumor. Well, you know what she's capable of then. She has even more power here in Nos Astra. She uses it to keep her friends in check, and her enemies dead.
If you work there, you must have an idea what his opposition will be.
Eclipse mercs, high-tech killer. Undisciplined, but very well equipped. They don't much care who they kill, as long as they're paid for it. Thane has quite a reception waiting for him. I told him all I knew. He didn't seem worried.
So WizKid says, the modern version is definitely a sociopath, but I don't know enough about Holmes' lore to really say for certain. He was addicted to cocaine once, though, so... So BBC, the BBC Sherlock, the modern day Sherlock, I think I tend to agree. The character is a little off. He basically has replaced cocaine and tobacco with nicotine patches and opiates, prescription drugs at some point in the series. I will say, though, as far as the character of Sherlock Holmes goes, the Robert Downey Jr. movies were actually a very good portrayal. The stories were way condensed in those, and they were also new stories for the most part. But yeah, that was a fairly good portrayal of the character, at least. So think about that. Also, read them. They're great books, or short stories for the most part. They're phenomenal, and honestly, that is something I would like to read again sometime soon. All of the Sherlock Holmes novels and the short stories and whatnot. They're phenomenal. Actually, the first time I read all of them straight through was 10 years ago when I worked for the census, because I didn't do anything for that job. I sat there and waited for people to come and ask for help, and literally no one ever did. The only person who actually came by my questionnaire assistance center, meaning me sitting in the lobby of my local parish, waiting for people to ask for help, was my grandmother, who stopped by to visit because no one else would. Anyway, but I read them all straight through. It was fantastic. They're great stories. Get them, read them. If you have any interest in mystery, phenomenal. Is the capacity for empathy, albeit limited, so that makes him more of a sociopath. Psychopaths are, on the other hand, not so much. Yeah, that actually sounds right. He does, I think, have the capacity for empathy. Again, though, it is limited to certain people in certain circumstances, and he does have an issue understanding others' perspectives. He can understand why people do things, but he can't understand doing that himself, or wanting so himself. All right, so let's see about Thane.
So where do I find Thane?
The Dantius Towers, penthouse level of Tower 1.
Okay. Excuse me.
There's a second tower, still under construction. If Thane is smart, he'll go in from there.
It doesn't sound like Nasana's just gonna let me in.
She's as smart as she is paranoid. No one's getting in or out of there without a fight. I can get you in, but you'll only get one shot. You'd better be ready.
You're just offering your help. No strings attached?
You're going to look for Thane. Nasana's mercenaries will try to stop you. At the least, you'll distract her guards. Take a little fire, give Thane a clear shot. I didn't hire him to kill Nasana, but I won't shed any tears when she gets what's coming to her.
Do you know anything else about Thane?
Not much. He did say that he's not doing the hit for money. Nobody hired him. I wanted to know who I was helping, and he said he's doing this job on his own. That he had to restore the balance of his life. I don't know.
Same.
Maybe he's crazy. If he takes down Nasana, I don't care why he does it.
He's such a cool dude. All right, let's do it.
Let's go then.
Good. I'm tired of this crap. We'll go tonight as soon as the shift workers clear out of Tower 2.
So something I picked up recently. Check this out. This is a delightful little box of cigarillos. This is Arangebrach, great brand. These are Irish cream flavored. Delightful, from pipesandcigars.com. I'm obviously not sponsored, but it is a nice little box full. They're delightful little things. And they come with... Whoops, dropped them. And they come with my recommendation if you're into this sort of thing. If you're a cigar enthusiast. They're great. Like I said, highly recommend. And, man, look at this phenomenal little box they come in. That's just classy. Anyway, minor little thing, but definitely worth checking out. Let's go with Garrus. Trying to think back on this mission. And maybe? Need sniper. Is it Eclipse Marks, or is it... It's Eclipse. Yeah, Garrus and Kasumi, or Miranda? Let's go with Miranda. I might need warp. That'll work. WizKid says about Sherlock Holmes. He also can't be a normal person. No matter how much he tries. Kind of like the Doctor. Yes, the Doctor is very heavily based on Sherlock Holmes. So he isn't going to go conquering the dominance hierarchy, no matter what it takes, like a sociopath does. True as well. Let's go with Concussive Blast. Miranda, let's upgrade Warp. And then the Slam is bitchin'. Alright, cool. But yeah, I tend to agree. I think you're right. Okay, good. Locust. No, not the Tempest. Tempest is crap. Don't like it. And Phalanx, Garrus, Matic, and Sizer. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, and that is like you pointed out, not sort of climbing the dominance hierarchy, that kind of thing. The same goes for both Sherlock and Mycroft, his brother. Neither of them are particularly ambitious.
Find more resistance closer to the penthouse. So, this assassin, you planning to stop him?
I'm just here to make sure he survives.
Hurting him. But yeah, neither of them are particularly ambitious, and I think that is kind of a Dark Triad trait, the kind of ambition.
There they are, the Dantius Towers. You'll have to get up to the second tower and cross the bridge to the penthouse. Her mercs will fight you every step, but it's your best chance.
Why don't we just save time and take the shuttle up?
She's got mercs with rockets just waiting for you to try. You get maybe halfway up before they shot you down. Besides, your assassin won't go in that way. Best to go in low.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this.
Hold on.
I love the cars. They're nice. I like that they're asymmetrical. It's a cool touch. Ultimately, psychopathy is one of the reasons why utopia is impossible. Someday, someone someday will come around and destroy it, just because they can. They fit the archetypal niche of internal societal chaos. Yeah. Society is fundamentally unstable in part due to psychopathy, sort of thing. But there are, there are stabilizing effects to that, to society. Self-protective mechanisms and that sort of thing.
We're compromised.
Self-correcting forces within society, things like
I'm on it.
Things like people reacting to things in a sensible way, such that they will be able to, at least to an extent, prevent psychopaths from sort of taking over society. And again, we can kind of help societal structures that discourage such things, or at least encourage people to prevent such things. Things like interlocking social mechanisms that make the antisocial elements into outcasts, like push them to the side of society, that kind of thing. Reputational systems, that sort of thing. Wizkid says also psychopathic personalities are inherently attracted to positions of power such as government, so that's always fun. Yeah, another reason to eliminate such things. Or at least reduce the power thereof. If you have concentrations of power, well, guess who you're going to attract to those concentrations of power? The worst elements of society. Everyone has always known this. Anybody with any measure of intelligence has always realized that not only does power corrupt, but it attracts the already corrupt. It attracts people who are willing to use that corrupt power for their own benefit at the expense of society. And, that's a bad thing. And of course it is because of, concentrations of power. Oh, jeez.
He's still alive.
I can't feel my legs. My chest is killing me.
Who did this to you? And why?
We're just night workers. Nasana sent them after us. She sent the mechs to round us up, but we didn't hear. They just started shooting.
Someone's here to kill Nasana. I need to find him.
I haven't seen anyone. But that explains. The merc said there was no time. Nasana wanted us out of the way immediately. Then the dogs.
He's not going to make it if we don't help him.
Here. That should ease the pain and keep you alive until help arrives.
Thank you. That helps.
Take your time.
I think I'm better. Find the other workers. Help them.
So WizKid says, yeah, that's why the best leaders, from a poetic perspective, are always the ones who least want that power. Not just from a poetic perspective, but just in general. Again, Plato knew this. Plato pointed out in the Republic that, and in the laws even, that leadership should be given to people who do not seek it. And the way of doing that is intellectuals who are in that position, not out of a desire to rule, but out of a desire to know, who are basically have leadership forced on them, and they will want to abandon that post so they can get back to their, research, their abstract knowledge, which I can sympathize with. I get it. If I were, for instance, forced to stop teaching and go into the university administration, I would want out of there as soon as possible. But that's not how it works. That's definitely not how university administration works. It's usually a career thing, which sucks.
I need to get up to the penthouse.
And yeah,
Any
don't murder the
suggestions?
Solarians.
Take the service
That's not
elevator
right.
to the upper floors. The bridge between the towers isn't finished, but if you're careful, watch out for the mercs. They're everywhere.
Not them.
Any idea how many mercs Nasana's got?
A lot. Dozens of them are wandering around here all day. You'll find more the further up you go.
Why would Nasana kill her own workers?
To her, we're expendable. But I didn't realize she was that ruthless. My friends, co-workers, slaughtered. They were jumping off ledges to escape the dogs.
Yeah, no, WizKid, you're right. I mean, it works from a story perspective because it works in reality. Because we sort of already inherently know this.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
Right,
Let's get
buddy,
moving.
Stay safe. Oh.
Yes!
Nice shooting! It's not that one! Perfect!
Okay. WizKid, have you still not remembered what it was that I wanted you to remind me to remind you? You know what I mean? The reminder thing? Really? I've not remembered that?
I'll tear them apart!
Because it was something interesting, I think.
There we go!
Hostile forces have engaged.
Yeah, well, I guess Flame Breath of the Wild, that's, I guess, understandable. Hold on, I need to pause for a second to actually read this, because that is a confusing comment. Yes, I forget that I don't have to be so careful how I word these things. These kinds of things here, because you aren't a raving leftist lunatic, and you actually understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of the same intellectual influences and a lot of similarities of perspective and that sort of thing. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I also make it a very significant point to strive for charitable interpretation of what people are saying, and so I try and figure out what you're. Oh, God, that was awful. What you're actually trying to say, and not what I want you to be saying for my own purposes.
Night,
So
night.
that is. to disagree with you or to agree with you, whichever the case might be.
Requesting assistance. Careful. Impact
Let's go down.
There we go! Scratch one!
Get to cover!
Yeah!
Yes!
Oh, good. Ammo.
Concussive shot
Where?
ready.
Where'd that go?
There we go!
Did that ammo just fall off the ledge? I'm peeved. Okay, anyway, let's keep looking. There's some. That'll do. I was actually talking about this in class today as well. WizKid says it helps that you have a genuine drive to learn and understand, whereas they only fake that drive to mask their true drive to power and dominance by any means necessary. Again, careful there, because we don't want to dive in. We don't want to fall for the same thing that makes a lot of leftist poor thinkers, which is an uncharitable interpretation of one's opponents. Right? We should, by default, what in the world? Oh wait, no, I don't want to go up here yet. I want to make sure that there's nothing else to grab over here. There's not. Let's move on. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, we don't want to assume malice on the part of even our enemies, unless they have demonstrated that is their true motivation.
Hey, I think he went in here.
We don't want to assume
We'll
those
go get
if we
him.
can avoid it.
You go.
Get your ass in there, and Nathana's not paying you to stand around.
Fine. But
Crunchy. Gee. But yeah, so we were just talking about the principle of charity in interpreting our enemies and our opponents' arguments in class today. And how really, really important that is, especially in political discussions, and how uncommon it is in political discussions. Oh, oops. Okay. Because that's actually very uncommon to, on both sides, but I would say more so on the left, to interpret one's opponent as genuine and truth-seeking, as opposed to being, seeking only power or what have you. So WizKids is right. Sorry, I, of all people, should know that not all leftists are created equal. Just look at my Facebook history over the last few months. I seem to attract reasonable people on all sides, and unreasonable people. It's quite an eclectic mix, really. Okay. Yeah, it's always a mix. And, reasonable people and unreasonable people are not always the same people. Sometimes someone is reasonable and sometimes that same person can be.
Concussive shot ready.
Excuse me. Hostile forces have engaged. Impact event. Careful.
WizKid says it can just be so hard sometimes because there's so many of them who are just closeted communists. It's exhausting after a while. That is true. I am, I work in academia. I know plenty about closeted and, uncloseted communists. They exist. They're around, and they are just as irritating as. I think we really ought to sort of develop a kind of it's not okay to be a communist mentality as being more common. It's kind of horrifying that communism is not seen the way that Nazism is rightly seen. Both of these are fundamentally unacceptable ideologies, but are, commonly, well, one of them, not both, one of them is very commonly held by otherwise respectable people, and that's insane. It's absurd. That should assuredly not be the case. This kid says, before we jump into a fight, we're in a fight. It's funny, I tend to agree with you, with y'all and Harley, more than in any societal economic stuff, because I tend to agree with my leftism when it comes to mental health stuff. It's true. I tend to be a little bit skeptical of a lot of trends in psychology, even having to do with mental health and whatnot. And a large part of that is due to a lot of the faulty philosophy of mind that I know is at the root of some modern psychoanalysis, modern psychology. But there are faults in some of the ways of thinking associated with modern psychology.
Enemy down!
And that can be as simple as things like the mind-brain identity thesis, the idea that the brain is the mind, or the mind is an epiphenomenon of the brain, right? All of these things are kind of at the root of a lot of modern psychology, that the mind is an emergent phenomenon or whatever, right? And this winds up meaning that psychology gets reduced to neurology in a lot of cases, and I think there's issues with that. There's obvious issues. Or alternatively, it turns into a kind of Gnosticism, which is itself obviously mistaken as Viper. I don't want Garrus to have it, but fine. Maybe I can find somewhere to change. And we're waiting. Oop. Oh, come on. Really? No. There it is. Got it. Okay, God, that was close. Okay, cool. Alright. Whiskey says, right, they should be equally despised, and yet someone continues to poison society, because it's easier to defend on an emotional level than Nazism. Not really, it just depends on who you're defending it to. You can totally defend Nazism to the right kind of people who are concerned about concerned about security and things like that, and tightness of barriers, conservative sensibility kind of thing. Master Barry says we should start by letting them know that Marxist-Leninist communism isn't something that should apply to an overall nation. People are still stuck believing that socialist ideologies are equal to it. And even socialist ideologies have their problems. And the sort of egalitarianism that is at the root of socialism is the root problem especially to things like communism. But then also is in a lot of sense, in a sense at least, some of the same issue with the pathologies of the right, let's say, right? Fascism and Nazism and whatnot. Wiskid says, and it makes sense too, since I want to be a clinical psychologist, a la Jordan Peterson. Only thing is, I like him, and I see things more like Jung and Piaget did more than the strictly materialist point of view. Yeah, I don't want to say that you don't have to be a strict materialist to be, I think, far too reductionistic. Oops. Far too reductionistic when it comes to the mind, because I think that the mind I just, as a philosopher, in
Please,
terms of philosophy of
don't kill
science,
us.
and this also
We'll
kind
go,
of comes,
we'll go.
this relates to a lot of what I was
Look,
talking about.
they're not eclipsed.
As well.
You're here to help us.
We need some more Aristotle, because of course we do. I always recommend Ed Fazer's book, which I haven't read all of yet. I need to. Ed Fazer's book, Aristotle's Revenge. I'm going to put a citation for that in the description as well. Because it is an area that I know at least a little bit about and can highly recommend that. Because it does a good job in terms of pointing out the faults in modernism in a direction that is not postmodernism. At least not the common type of postmodernism, the kind of post-structuralist, Foucaultian and Derridaist or whatever kind of rejection of truth claims. It is an evolution past modernism, keeping in mind the advancements that we have noticed and we've discovered, but also returning to, right, picking up what we abandoned with the sort of Cartesian revolution. It's a good book. What I've read of it is phenomenal, and I know of other philosophers of science who highly recommend it. So, highly recommend it. WizKid says, yeah, psychology should focus more on treating the mind than trying to understand how it all works, because frankly, neuroscience is only part of the puzzle, and until we can accept that the soul is real, we'll always be stuck. Yeah, and I do think that, look, and this is why I say Aristotle. This is why I point us to Aristotle, is because of the sort of hylomorphic dualism between the mind and the brain. Right? The material does contribute. It really is a significant factor when it comes to the mind, because it's the material of the body, right? That's important. That's a real part of us, and that, neurological effects are real effects that we need to wrestle with, and we can even, modify, and we can fix. But that's not all there is to it, right? So neglecting either part of it is a problem. We shouldn't neglect either half.
It's one reason I'm here. Come
Let's
on
do the
out.
opposite, is
It's
a
safe
kind
enough.
of Gnosticism.
Thank you. We are in your debt.
Maybe you can help me. I'm looking for someone, not a merc. He's on his own.
Well, whoever sealed us in here. When he found us, I thought we were dead, but he just closed the door and locked us in.
Locked you in? Sounds like our assassin was trying to keep them safe.
Assassin? Here for Nasana, I bet. She's got it coming. You treat people like this, it always comes back to bite you in the ass.
What about this assassin?
Did you see the one who locked you in? Do you know where he might have gone?
He's no Solarian, I can tell you that. But I've no idea where he went. Sorry. If he's after Nasana, he'll be heading to the upper levels.
What about her?
Nasana's not exactly your favorite person?
She's a hard woman to work for. That's an understatement. She works us long hours, no overtime, and this is what you get in payment. She's unpleasant, to say the least.
Why not just quit?
We would if we could.
What's stopping you?
Our contract. We're stuck until the job's done. Quitting for any reason can be hazardous to your health. We hear that anyone who leaves early tends to disappear. Probably just a rumor. But who wants to find out for sure?
WizKid points out, inspiring philosophy has a pretty good perspective on how the mind and the brain are connected via the soul, but I'm too tired to fully articulate it here. I don't know about inspiring philosophy on theory of mind. He's a little bit too much of a sort of panpsychist idealist for me. I think he tends away from putting the proper importance on the body, more towards the almost Gnosticism of the mind. Not quite to a dangerous extent, but it's still kind of there, and I think he errs a little bit in that.
I need to get to Nasana's penthouse. What's the quickest way?
Cargo elevator is the only way up right now.
Let's see if I can find the one you're talking about.
They're still working up top.
Again, in
Watch
the
your
description.
steps.
If you find
Some
it,
of the
let me know.
walls
Send it
aren't
to me.
in, and it's
by
a long
Facebook.
way down. Cold too. I hate working up there.
How many workers were in the tower? Are there many more of you?
Not alive. We were lucky. Well, some got out before the dogs were sent in. Maybe a few are hiding somewhere.
I wouldn't stay here too long. It should be safe down on the lower floors.
I was just thinking the same thing. Let's go, everybody.
This kid says he comes from a good place, but I tend to agree. I get why he focuses on the soul so
Tell your
heavily,
assassin
though,
to aim for her head,
considering even
'cause she
getting
doesn't
people
have a
to
heart.
believe in it is an
Get
uphill battle
moving.
nowadays. Yeah, with his platform, I agree. That's a good focus to have, but in a lot of his, especially in his debates, I think he goes in a lot of cases, in sort of the wrong direction. In terms. Yeah, okay.
We're a little exposed out here, especially if anyone's in that elevator.
We should find cover. Quickly.
Grabbing cover!
Have a pleasant day.
Over there, Miranda. Uh-oh.
Enemy in the trap! Light him up! They're through my
Oh,
shields!
jeez. That's not good. I need you to do that, and I need you to do that.
Get ready for close combat! Enemy charging!
There.
Scratch one!
Alright, that'll do. That wasn't so bad. Alright, quick decision. There's a renegade interrupt coming up that's really badass, but it's also a renegade thing, so should I do it? Quick yes or no. Anybody in the chat, let me know. Should I do it or nah? Pretty badass, but again, it's a renegade thing, and I'm trying to go for the most part Paragon in this.
I haven't heard from teams 4 or 5. Don't worry, my team's always ready to go. I don't know where he is. Not yet. Don't worry about it.
I'll think about it.
We don't need any reinforcements. I'll take care of it. It's under control. I'll go down there myself.
Turn around very slowly.
Damn it.
Have you seen the assassin?
Why are you looking for him? You're not one of Nasana's mercs. Who are you?
Answer my questions and I'll let you go.
Look, pal. Even if I knew where he was, I wouldn't tell you.
Not the answer I was looking for.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot me, my team's right through there.
Okay.
How about goodbye?
Well,
harsh, but I guess he had it coming.
Definitely was not cooperating, so yeah. Oh yeah, now let's stay with the Matic. Genetic information for the Carosa family. Hey, that's Larian that we were hearing on the phone. Neat.
All over the place.
There we go!
Backup systems engaged.
Felt that one! Perf! Perf!
Alright.
I'll tear you.
Gunzo. Alright, there we go. Move on through. I mean, listen, I said that if he answers our questions, then he'll let you go. He was refusing to answer our questions and threatening us with reinforcements and whatnot. So, alright. Not my fault. He issued an ultimatum, and he decided that it was not a good idea to listen. I mean, let's be frank. All of his friends here, we were also just shooting on sight. So.
Get back! I'll shoot!
Relax. Don't do anything you'll regret.
I don't want to hurt you, but I will.
This one.
I said get back. I'll do it. Please, don't make me do it.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. What's your name?
I'm Talon. Don't come any closer.
Talon, I'm Commander Shepard. I don't work with the Mercs, and I don't want to hurt you. I'm here to help.
All right. Here. I don't feel so...
Talon! He's my brother. I just want to see if he's all right. Are you the ones who shot the Merc?
Not that one.
I've shot a lot of Mercs today, but I can't take credit for him.
Then who did?
You tell me. What happened?
The Merc found us and shouted at us to move. We panicked, and he shouted more. I thought he was going to kill us, then his head just exploded. Talon picked up the Merc's gun, but we were too afraid to leave. Then you showed up.
A perfect headshot with no collateral damage. Very impressive.
I'm looking for someone. Probably the guy who killed this Merc.
Talon thought he saw someone following us, but he's been a bit on edge. I haven't seen anyone but the Mercs.
Is the bridge the only way to the penthouse in the other tower?
From here, yeah. It won't be easy. Mercs are patrolling the other side. Whatever Nasana's hiding from must be pretty scary.
How safe is that bridge out there?
The bridge is stable, but the wind's your real problem. If it doesn't throw you off, the Mercs will definitely try. There's a lot of them out there.
There are still Mercs up here. You should get to the lower levels.
No need to convince me. Talon, come on, get up.
Can we go home now?
Yeah, we're getting out of here. Thank you.
Nice. I need that. Oh, here, look. This. There. Here. Okay. Okay.
I'm afraid your men aren't able to respond, Nasana.
Nah. Well, that was unwise, but badass. Alright, let's see what we got up here. Oh, well that works.
Mind over matter!
Warp.
Concussive shot
He
ready.
Deploying Warfield!
Down we go.
I'll tear you apart! Deploying Warfield!
One less to worry about.
Move right along. Now let's switch Garrus's sniper rifle back, because this one's kind of meh. It's just kind of rapid fire, but not great. That'll do us. Oh, I have to... There. Ezo. Almost missed that.
Forget the explosives! He's already past us! Look out! They're behind
Pick one last target!
Excuse me.
Damn it!
This should slow him down.
I'll tear you apart!
Oof. There. Okay. Hey.
This looks interesting.
This is a very precarious place to be just kind of standing and hacking. Very out in the open, and it's apparently quite windy, given the wibbly-wobbly. There. But we're fine. It's all fine. You.
We're compromised.
Boing.
I don't care what you do. No one gets across that bridge.
It's following.
Allied force casualty.
This should slow him down.
Okay, so I need to kill those things.
System sabotage detected.
What the hell are you waiting for? Just kill them! What the hell am I paying you for? Taking cover! Flying Warfield! Double ahead! Very nice! Brace yourself! Weakening!
There. Wasn't so bad.
I'll tear you apart! This will put them down.
So I'm just gonna go.
I'm sending in reinforcements. Damn it! Finish them off! Let's
And stay down.
get them off me!
Okay. See? This is what you do. If you have tech armor, you run at them and then explode. Oh, God, that is a technique of the sort. It's not a good one, but it's a technique. Alright. Boss fight. Or is it?
Shepard, but you're dead.
I got better.
And now you're here to kill me.
I'm not an assassin, Nasana. But I'm looking for one.
You break in here and decimate my security just to find the person who's here to kill me? What are you playing at, Shepard? What? I heard something. Damn it. Check the other entrances. You
Stay put. When I'm finished dealing with this nuisance, you and I are going to... Who...
That was so badass.
Impressive. You certainly know how to make an entrance.
I was hoping to talk to you.
I apologize, but prayers for the wicked must not be forsaken.
She certainly was wicked.
Not for her. For me. The measure of an individual can be difficult to discern by actions alone. Take you, for instance. All this destruction, chaos. I was curious to see how far you'd go to find me. Well, here I am.
How'd you know I was coming at all?
I didn't. Not until you marched in the front door and started shooting. Nasana had become paranoid. You saw the strength of her guard force. She believed one of her sisters would kill her. You were a valuable distraction.
Let's cut to the chase. I need you for a mission.
Indeed.
You're familiar with the Collectors?
By reputation.
They're abducting entire human colonies. Freedom's Progress was their handiwork.
I see.
We're going after them.
Attacking the Collectors would require passing through the Omega-4 relay. No ship has ever returned from doing so.
WizKid says that's not what I expected him to sound like. Well, yeah, he's a frogman. Actually, the vocal distortion, the vocal effect on Drell is only doing a little bit of the work as far as the just sheer amount of crazy badassitude of Thane's voice. The actual voice actor, I saw an interview with him some time ago where he was just kind of talking about voice acting and whatnot, and him just doing the voice to it carries so much of the gravitas of the character that it's a lot less the effect that's put on, and it's more just what he does with it, the acting that he does with it. I would say the same is true with Brandon Keener, who's the voice for Garrus. Like, Garrus's voice is distinctive, with or without that sort of Turian timbre to it. To the point when I hear Brandon Keener in something else, it's like, oh hey, Garrus. It's one of those things where so much of the character is in that acting. That said, for Thane, a lot of his character is also in the physics, the physicality. He moves like with a dance. Like when he taking out the guards like he did there, one after the other in just a fluid series of movements. That's Thane. That is what makes him incredibly badass, and unfortunately that means that part of his physicality can't really be replicated in gameplay, because this is a very range-focused game. But in cutscenes and stuff, his character development a lot of it just comes through his physicality like that. WizKid says it works really well, that's for sure. Just to show how artful voice acting can be, absolutely. Some of the this game has such an incredible voice cast. This one in particular, Mass Effect 2 in particular. I'm in awe a lot of what they managed to convey just with so little in the realm of animation conveying so much emotion and whatnot, but just the acting. Now, I will also say that the design for Thane is really cool. It's just he's a really well designed species as a Drell. And in development, in early development, it went through a lot of iterations because what they were trying to make for Thane was the sexy alien, but also a little bit weird, a little bit different, a little bit alien. But he was envisioned as he was designed and envisioned to be sexy because you know how Bioware does.
They told me it was impossible to get to Ilos, too.
A fair point. You built a career on performing the impossible. This was to be my last job. I'm dying. Low survival odds don't concern me. The abduction of your colonists does.
You're dying. Are you contagious? How long do you have?
If you're interested, we can discuss it on your ship. The problem isn't contagious, and it won't affect my work.
I hadn't heard that. Is there anything I can do?
Giving me this opportunity is enough. The universe is a dark place. I'm trying to make it brighter before I die. Many innocents died today. I wasn't fast enough and they suffered. I must atone for that. I will work for you, Shepard. No charge.
Awesome. WizKid says the alien part of his design what makes him so alluring. That and how he's built like a giant green supermodel. Yeah, he is like acrobatic. He's built like an acrobat. Rather than somebody like Jacob, who is athletic in build, but he has some significant muscle to him. Or somebody like James in Mass Effect 3, who is built like the front end of a truck. He's wider than he is tall, kind of thing. But yeah, he is. Thane is. He is the acrobatic kind of fit. He's really cool. I really like his character design. I really like his character. I'm amazed by his character. And we're talking about Gnosticism, that is, and the kind of separation of soul and body. That is a major aspect of his character and sort of Drell beliefs in general. So that is, we're gonna have to probably pick that up next week. We're gonna have to talk to him a bunch because it's almost midnight already, and we got half of what I planned to get done tonight because I forgot how much side stuff there was on Ilium. But yeah, we're gonna talk to Thane, and we're gonna get through some of the stuff about the Drell, and then we're gonna recruit Samara. So I do want to wrap this up, but I want to do the sort of talking with Thane here first before we do that. Before we wrap it up before we end. Erica says James is the definition of skipping leg day. Yeah, he does pull-ups for leg day. Because his legs, are there. He has to tuck them in. That counts. James is a Gears of War character transport.
I've heard impressive stories, Krios. Sounds like you'll be an asset to the team. That is, if you're comfortable having an assassin watch your back.
I've accepted a contract. My arm is Shepard's.
Uh-huh. Don't know about you, but I'm loyal to more than my next paycheck.
Obviously he is too. He's doing this mission gratis. What's your concern?
I don't like mercenaries. An assassin is just a precise mercenary.
An assassin is a weapon. A weapon doesn't choose to kill. The one who wields it does. Where shall I put my things? I'd prefer someplace dry if anything is available.
The area near the life support plant on the crew deck tends to be slightly more arid than the rest of the ship.
Ah, an AI. My thanks.
He seems quite civil.
Edie, what's your problem with him? Erica says, then Jacob, you like no one on the ship. Shut up, dude. Yeah, kind of everybody's a little bit of a mercenary. I mean, I guess Warden isn't. Really? Garrus is a vigilante, which is kind of very similar. Miranda, he doesn't like. We already know. Grunt is big baby, is big special baby. But he definitely would be a mercenary if given the chance, and he kind of turns into one at some point. Who else we got? Kasumi, not a mercenary, she's a thief. Kylie says, "Yo, I'm gonna hit the hay. First day of work tomorrow, and more classes. Love the live stream, and can't wait for the next one. Good night, awesome people." Good night, Kylie. We are gonna actually wrap up in like 2 minutes anyway. I want to finish this conversation and then call it a night.
We need all the help we can get. He's not what I expected in an assassin. He may surprise you.
Yeah, and he may not.
That Jacob. Bugs me. That goes nowhere at all. A lot of the interpersonal interactions in Mass Effect 2, like inter-squadmate between squadmates, is kind of cut short. I wish there were more of that, like there is in the third game. But hey, they really beefed up that kind of thing. Great. Anyway, that's all I got. We're out of time. I also have to get up early in the morning. I get class first thing in the morning tomorrow, and I'm actually going to go to it physically this week. So that means I have to take my pajamas off. I can't really teach in my pajamas if I'm going into the classroom. So that means I have to get up earlier than usual. So that means we gotta cut it. So with that, keep an eye out for the introduction to Plato's Republic. That video will be coming out tomorrow. I've got it all set. Turns out that all of the issues I thought there were okay, so don't worry about it. Should be all good. That is going to be an introduction to what the Plato's Republic is about. That is going to be about the sort of some of the background for Book 1 of the Republic, and then gradually we're going to add more, just going through the Republic bit by bit by bit. There's also, keep an eye out in the coming weeks for my video on natural law and aesthetics. That's also going to be coming up in the next while. WizKid, you caught a preview of it. You can vouch for its phenomenalness. Master Barry says there was a whole conflict you had to break up between Grunt and Warden that was cut, and that's a shame. Damn, that sounds awesome. That is a shame. What are you gonna do? Yeah, there's a lot of. I heard there was a lot of cut content from it too, just for time constraints and things. But it's a shame. But there is some cool stuff. There's some. Yeah, see, WizKid says it's hilarious. There is some nice conflict between Miranda and Jack. There's the bit between Tally and Legion, but that's really kind of it. So I wish there were more. But the good news is we get more in Mass Effect 3. We'll get there eventually. Anyway, like I said, keep an eye out for videos up to come, and join me again Thursday night for more Red Dead Redemption 2 when everything goes horribly wrong, and no more spoilers than that. Anyway, I've been Professor McCoy, and say good night to you all, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.